entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Screen Time Continuum. I am Nick, and I'm joined with the boys, as always. Happy New Year, guys. Happy 2023. Keelan, how's it going, bro?
Happy New Year, brother. I'm doing pretty good. It's time to get to some screen time, 2023, and what better day to do it than the first day of the year?
That's right. I love it. And we got Mike. What is up, man?
Man, I made it.
You made it.
Survived another year of shenanigans.
We did it. All right. Congratulations, guys. We made it another year. We're another year wiser, right? Another year.
I don't know about wiser.
Some people say that.
Some people will say that. Another year of movies and TV under our belt. And that is what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Hold on, wait.
Yeah.
We are going to talk about that. But before we get there, how are you, Nick?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that.
Oh, yes,
new year. Very excited for it. It's going to be fun. And looking forward to this conversation too. So forgive my sort of eagerness, but I would definitely like to get into the meat of this conversation. We're going to be talking about tonight, guys. We're going to give you the best and the worst of 2022. This is movies and TV. Some honorable mentions that we thought of and what we might be looking forward to in 2023, since this is a New Year episode. We wanted to look back and say what we loved and what we hated and what we're going to be looking forward to this year. So I don't know how we're going to, I think what we should do is we'll give this a very loose structure. This is going to be a lot more conversational. So get some popcorn, everybody, hang out with us, maybe grab a drink. Celebrate and let us know what you think. If you're here watching live, please feel free to let us know in the comments what you loved this year, what you didn't love this year, and we might talk about it. So without much further ado, I think we can give you guys the structure of this conversation. I think what we can do first, if you guys are okay with it, is that we can talk about some honorable mentions that we liked, maybe.
Yeah.
Or how do you, I think that would probably be the best way. And then we can talk about, maybe the things that honorable mentions, that we liked. And then we can do things we didn't like, then when things we liked, and then what we're looking forward to. Something like that.
I like that. Honorable mentions, I think, would be good. That's a nice icebreaker.
Right. It's not the stuff that really wowed us, but it's stuff that's still notable enough and still good enough that we wanted to make sure that we mention it in this episode. If it's not our favorite, it's still up there on the list. So these are things that we would probably recommend if they're on our honorable mention list. So once to get this started, Keelan, did you want to give us one of yours? I think we can start. Do you want to start with movies first? Honorable mentions?
Whoa, that's actually that's a great place to start with me, honestly, because I don't have a lot of honorable mention movies that we didn't already review. My honorable mention movies literally are on our review list, and I don't even want to go too deep into them because they're on our review list. So yeah, everything I've been doing this the whole time, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike knows. Oh, there we go. Everything, everywhere, all at once. That is for sure an honorable mention, just because I want to talk about it for the majority of the show.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, it is a good movie. I have that as my movie of the year, so I guess I could just let that be disclosed right now, since we're just going to go right ahead for it. I think it's worth being in the honorable mentions, although it is certainly my movie of the year. What's cool about that is that we didn't get Mike's take on the movie. He has also seen it, and we reviewed it, but he was not on that episode. So Maybe Mike, you want to give us some thoughts about Everywhere, Everything, All at Once?
There we go.
I didn't expect it to be as good as it was.
Nobody
Like, just
did,
looking
Mike.
at the face of it, I see why it kind of got slept on, because if you don't know, you just don't know.
Right.
It's one of those movies that comes out, you look at like the promos and you're just like, it looks like it could be fun. But then you don't really think about it after that, and then you might just miss it.
Right.
But if you actually watch it, somebody did a great job. And I know you can run down the actors. I know you're going to run down the directors and all the important people for the movie, because that's what you do, Keelan. Respect for that. Because I don't think ahead like that to give specific people their props, except for the actors who play in the movie. It was a surprise to me, though, because I watched it completely independent from you guys. Even though you guys kind of recommended it, it was still kind of like I was kind of interested in seeing it anyway, and it kind of slipped my mind. But when I actually watched it, I was blown away. I thought it was a great movie. Great movie.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you, Mike. 2 questions, actually, now listening to that.
Okay.
One, so you were late to the party on that one?
Yeah.
Okay,
for
fair.
sure.
Not
It's okay. We
judging,
were about a month or so late too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, we were as far as the review, for sure.
mhm.
And my other question would be, would you say that is the best multiverse? I'd say it's tied for the best multiverse movie of the year. And the other, the one that's tied with is actually a short film, so it doesn't really qualify. It's more of a TV show thing. But would you say, Mike, that is the best multiverse movie of the year? Yes, I am. There's a lot of pun intended in the multiverse part.
Right. I can't think of a better one.
There you go.
I can't think of a better one, period.
No, yeah. So let me, Ben, I want to be clear. The only reason it is tied is there is a thing called, and to me, Everything Everywhere All at Once is still the number one, but the short comes in so close. It's called Galactic Laundromat or something. I forget. And that's why, to me, it's like it's up there because it's so good that I'm always thinking like, dang, that thing was really good, but it's not good enough to where I really remember the details of it, if that makes sense. But it's kind of loosely in the same ballpark of multiverse and being intergalactic and all that kind of stuff. It's almost like it has that same feel of nope, not gonna go into it. But either way, it's a really, really similar concept, and it is above that one really major flick that was about multiverses. So I make sure to try to reference the fact that, the one multiverse movie we were supposed to be so excited about is probably the worst one to come out this year. If not ever.
Yeah.
I mean, Total Recall was better.
Yeah. I think that this movie is definitely my favorite because of how earnest it is and how simple it is. The budget was something like so low. It was under 30 million or something like that. And the story is just so potent and good. Like, I still feel the emotions of those scenes. I still think about those scenes all the time. I mean, like, I have my mom and my brother coming down soon, and I'm going to make them watch it because I know they haven't seen it.
I want to let you know, Nick, I have it here, 25
million. Yeah. So for basically nothing, like for something to reach that type of level with very little budget is a testament to me of what art is, because you don't need, and like we've been alluding to, there's a very harsh juxtaposition between a $25 million budget and then a $250 million budget that was with Doctor Strange. And
that movie cost more than this movie made.
10 times more. And, like the fact that it blows it out of the water without even really trying is saying something. So, yeah, I think that that's one of the best movies of the year for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. I agree.
Right. And I actually forgot that Mike hadn't seen it. So I'm glad to have mentioned that first. But yeah, that would be an honorable mention for me as a movie. And because I actually knew Nick, because we've been talking about it all year, it came out really early in the year. I knew it would be your best movie of the year, and it's mine's too. So because of that, it's my 1A and I have a 1B. So when we get there, I actually have a different answer for that too.
Okay.
But my honorable mention TV to me is more exciting. So my honorable mention movies again is Everything All the Way,
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
All at Once. I don't know why that's a tongue twister for me, because I usually master most tongue twisters, but for me this movie title is a tongue twister. But yeah, we saw a lot of good movies, but we also saw a lot of shit movies. A lot of the movies I watched independently, either somehow we ended up reviewing later, I joke you not, or I probably didn't finish them because they were shit.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit. I mean, and I think, this channel itself is kind of like a bottom scraper of the streaming services. We do go pretty deep into some of these movies, and yeah, there's been a lot of bad for sure.
And I
Holy Rusted Metal, Batman.
Holy Rusted Metal. And if I'm being honest, Nick, I'll get to, I went through all the shows. Our very first show of the year was Polar. Our last show of 2021 was Black Box. If Black Box had made the cut,
what would have been where you would have put that?
It might have made it into that worst movie category.
It was pretty bad. There were some really bad ones. Yeah.
Black Box, yeah.
I've never heard of it.
The concept was pretty good. The execution of the movie wasn't even bad, but the ending, like the way they meshed it all together, it just was like, oh, come on, you could have done a lot better.
Yeah.
We were reeled in to be let down really hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
I might have to go after that one because I've never heard of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Black Box. I'll give you the synopsis off air. I don't really want to get at
yeah.
Is it that bad?
No, it's great actors. The
it shouldn't be
great.
bad.
It's the execution. It's just a really bad fall. Pun intended. No pun intended. That's not right. But it just has a really bad. It's a very anticlimactic climax.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way to explain it. Yeah, it takes so much of your thunder that you're like, I'm giving it too much time. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that. My honorable mention is I'm gonna leave it at Everything Everywhere All at Once because it's my 1B. But yeah, for me, I don't know what it is about movies. If it's bad, I just turn it off and I'll go watch a TV show. My TV show list for my personal list for TV shows is damn near as long as our movie review list. No joke.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as movies, it's not that long at all.
Yeah, I'm kind of the other way around on it. But one of my I guess one of my honorable mentions, since we already blew the best movie of the year, we should have saved that for the end. My honorable mentions for good movies, definitely one is RRR. We had a lot of fun reviewing that one. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Another one that I watched independently of you guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still think there are two things that really like stick in my head about that movie. One is the dance scene in the middle of it, the nacho, because I went on YouTube and I watched it because that dance scene is fire. And then also one of the best scenes I think is the introductory of Ram's character when he's like he's the cop and he's surrounded by all those rioting people. And he has to go into the crowd to go retrieve one of them. And it's just this long scene of him going through the massive crowd, beating the crap out of everybody. Yes.
And he doesn't even have superpowers. He's just so majestic.
No. Yeah. He's just like brutalizing people, just beating a whole crowd all at once. It was just incredible. I really enjoyed that movie.
Agreed.
That's a good one. Oh,
it's just so fantastic.
Honorable mention. Which is actually again, we'll get to that. Hell Caesar.
George Clooney movie?
Mm-hmm. Hell Caesar. I did
that
not
wasn't
think that was
2022
though. We reviewed it in 2022, which is why it's on my mind. So right, yes, correct. So let me be clear. It's an honorable mention because for the channel we reviewed it, not because it came out in the year. That's I don't have many of those in my honorable mentions, but throughout this discussion there will be more of those to come up. But that's just in reference to the channel. But I wanted to mention that. That's why just another honorable mention. I did not expect that movie to be good. And when I was going back through the year, just the things we reviewed, what came out this year, and I actually thought to myself, I'm like, damn, didn't Hell Caesar come out this year? And I look back like, oh, that movie is older than I thought it was.
Yeah.
But it's still a good ass movie. Like, it's a really good movie. It's annoyingly good because, again, you don't expect it to be that good. You really think it's this toss away kind of a movie, and it kind of stands the test.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good one. I think we had a lot of fun watching that one too. That's Coen Brothers, so they usually make pretty decent movies. I think, well, where I'm at with Coen Brothers movies, there's so many of them that I like. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou is one of my favorites. No Country for Old Men.
That was a good movie.
That's a great movie. The Coen Brothers do good work.
I'm trying to see, when did Hell Caesar come out? Oh, 2016. Yeah.
Oh,
it blew my mind how old
Sidebar. Legend. That was the name of it.
What do you mean?
The Tom Cruise movie.
Oh, yes, you're right. Yep, that's right. Legend.
You said it would come to you.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good movie. That's an old one. That's not up for part of this. That was just something that we were talking about off air.
Yeah, we were trying to figure it out.
Good movie because we were talking Tim Curry stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And he is alive, by the way. He's just
he's just very old.
Where you got that from. But yeah, because of that, and bringing up the movie, shout out Tim Curry, man.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
One of those actors that probably doesn't get enough recognition for the impact they made on a generation.
Absolutely.
He's in a lot of stuff for sure. Yeah, another one that I wanted to just briefly mention that I was pleasantly surprised by, and that was one of the ones that I didn't think I would actually like, was Windfall. I know Keelan, if you remember that one.
Yeah, I remember Windfall.
Yeah, we both liked it pretty well.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a kind of a sleeper movie. It didn't. I think it just came out on Netflix. It was with Jason Segel and a couple other people. It's like
some notable faces, but I don't remember their names.
Yeah, it's like 3 people on the whole thing, and basically it's about a squatter.
Four. The gardener.
The gardener, that's right. About a squatter who gets caught squatting at a rich couple's house in Palm Springs, and that's pretty much it. And then some hostage situation happens, and
it's interesting.
It's very interesting.
And the
cinematography.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The choices for cinematography, it's because the word was right there, it just wouldn't come out. The cinematic choices and the cinematography choices were amazing. Like, they took some real risk, some experimental shots that didn't really pan out so well. Like, did you shoot that on an iPhone and close the door? All right. But then you put that into the movie, and somehow it makes it a better piece of art.
Yeah, and the soundtrack is very good too, because it's very much about, oboes and woodwinds. I mean, uses heavy woodwinds in the whole movie. But yeah, that's a very tense movie. Very what's going to happen next, and solid.
Okay. I do an honorable mention. I actually enjoyed, but I don't think it's a great movie, but I actually enjoyed Nope.
Oh, okay.
I have not seen that. I have a list of movies I have not seen, but go ahead. Sorry.
Well, no. For me, it's just that it was one of those movies. It's a horror movie by Jordan Peele. It's one of those movies where I kind of had an idea what was going on, but then it was like, that came out of left field, and nope. There's a few scenes where you're just like, yeah, nope.
Yep.
And I can dig it from the perspective that it comes from, and it's like, because it's about a black family of cowboy ranchers, and they encounter, let's say, an entity, without spoiling it for anybody, and they're trying to understand it and why it's doing what it's doing. And it's not so much that it's an entity, and I like the spin on it. So for honorable mention,
nice.
It's a little twisty, but it's not completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is.
I don't know what the ridiculous spin is, but I know that and this is from somebody who hasn't seen a movie. I know that the gist is there's aliens in the cloud, and those aliens are killing the cows and doing all kind of mysterious shit, and the black folk ain't messing with it. I don't know.
Well, you know how we do.
Nope.
Yeah. So you mean to tell me that it's better than Wendell and Wild? I don't think I believe that.
Come on, Wendell and Wild was pretty good, man.
No, it
We're
was
gonna have
not.
this conversation again.
That movie was awful.
It wasn't awful. It just wasn't that good.
We're
not
okay, sir.
Again.
Okay,
no.
I know. I'm terrible.
I didn't put that as the worst movie, so don't worry about it.
It's not the worst, that's for sure.
No.
I have
it's
the
definitely
worst
not the worst.
I have the worst movies we reviewed and the worst movie we didn't review right here on this paper.
Good.
What is your worst movie?
We're gonna save the worst movies till the end.
I think the worst is the goal for this evening for this, because I think we've been talking about the best in probably 16 of our episodes since we watched it. So if you watch this channel, you know what we think is the best movie of the year.
That's very true. Yeah. We have been very open about that. Let's see. Do I have anything else good on movies for honorable mentions? No. Do you guys have any other good honorable mentions for movies?
I do have one other honorable mention. Hustle, the Adam Sandler.
Oh, right.
Juan Hernandez.
The basketball game.
Juan Carlos. Yeah. Listen, again, I forgot he was an NBA player for about 20 minutes of that movie.
Huh?
Juan Hernan Gomez, the kid in Hustle who plays the basketball player, he's a real life NBA player who I actually know. I follow his career, and his brother's in the NBA. For about the first 20 minutes of that movie, it didn't click to me who he was because he was doing such a good acting job. So I want to throw that out there as an honorable mention. Hey man, give these guys some shot. You don't know who has real talent. And Adam Sandler, I think he did like 3 or 4 movies with NBA stars this year. So we know he's an NBA nut. That's not a question. But that was pretty cool of him to do something with KG early in the year, do something with the young boy later in the year, and that worked out. Or excuse me, last year and this year. But yeah, but Hustle, I wanted to shout that out because I recently rewatched it, and it's a really good movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I cried again too. And I just want to say, for anybody who like, oh, men shouldn't cry. Listen, it's a movie, bro. You ain't gonna catch me crying about no. And I ain't like when I say
we don't cry, we get stuff in our eyes.
It got all welled up right here. It got a little tear. I don't even know if the tear was heavy enough to roll down. I know it got wet right in here, and that's me crying. So
that was a dust particle that you didn't realize was there.
I mean, I be trying to, open up to let people understand that men have emotions too. So I'd be like, yeah, I cried when in reality I just sneezed a little bit, or I held a sneeze and a little teardrop fell.
You got to train yourself to reabsorb the tear as it falls. Sheer willpower, just bring them right back into those eyeballs.
Right. I mean, I'm already acting as if it's a full something. I'll be hardly getting any water out the eyeball. But yeah, I think that's my last movie honorable mention for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's cool. Now the world of TV. I think we can probably do our honorable mentions for TV right now, but then keep the bad TV and the best TV for the end. So if there's any honorable mentions that you liked but weren't the best thing you've seen, for me in particular, I'll let you know. Peaky Blinders season 6 came out this year. It came out without anybody noticing because not a lot of people watched that series, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. It was a little bit sad to see the story ends because I think they created a really good character with Cillian Murphy in it. If you haven't seen Peaky Blinders, it's a decent enough show. I think people would like it. We never reviewed it here because I couldn't put Keelan through 5 seasons of something again. But it is cool because it's one of those BBC shows where it's like each season is only, I think, 5 episodes, but each episode is like an hour and a half long, and they're all shot like movies, and the cinematography is gorgeous. The set design and the characterization is really good. Tom Hardy's in it, which is great. Cillian Murphy's in it. Some really tremendous actors. And yeah, if you're into like, old time gangster, TV, watch Peaky Blinders. It's very old school English gangster.
Old school English. I like that. Yeah. So, and that you said that's your honorable mention TV. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, we have Derpy
501st. I wonder if they're related to Derpy Gaming, because I believe we had a Derpy Gaming.
I believe so as well. Could be the same person, just on a different profile, or could be two different people on. I like that.
Could be two different people. Yeah, I like it. The Derpy family. So I got my top 5 for best and worst movies and anticipated. Also, Happy New Year! Happy New Year to you as well. I'm hoping that it's a beautiful year for you.
Right. I have a few anticipated too as well. I have one really big anticipated.
That is Derpy Gaming. Sweet.
What up, Derpy Gaming? Man,
good to see you again. Happy New Year. Thank you so much. And let us know when you want to, disclose those. We'll be talking.
Definitely. I have a few honorable mention TV, but one of them is up there in my best TV, so I'm not going to mention one of them.
Okay, yeah.
One of them I've been trying to get to a point where I can review it on this channel. And every time I think of it, I'm always like, man, this show is like, it's just so deep that I'm like, I don't know if I should, because some of the humps and bumps in the show, you kind of need everybody to be in on. Like, I would have to have you guys catch all the way up so we can have a group discussion about it. Other than that, it's just me like, yo, did y'all see that?
Mm.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but that show is called Industry. It's on HBO Max. And essentially it's about high class banking, like investment marketing over in the UK. And you're on basically like the marketing sales floor, and you're seeing how everything's going down, and you get to know it's just freaking nuts though. You come in with a new class of people, the new class that are learning the ropes.
Nice.
Do you want the bad or the good first? Hey man,
we're doing
we're doing all the
honorable mentions in the positive side. So if you want to give us your good stuff, then we'll take it. But we're saving the bad stuff for last, because we tend to talk the most about the bad stuff.
Yes, right. Talk a lot about the bad. But yeah, Industry
on HBO Max.
On HBO Max.
Nice.
And then a classic mention. I have another one that I'm going to mention later, but this is just a classic mention. Atlanta season 4, dude.
Never watched a single episode.
I was just about to say, if you've never watched Atlanta, what the fuck are you doing? Go watch Atlanta. It's on Hulu. It's on FX. It's on probably YouTube too. I don't know.
I gotta be honest. I didn't watch a whole lot of TV shows in 22. I mostly watched anime.
I understand. And you know what? You should have more of those on your list then. I'm waiting to hear about them.
Yeah.
But if I'm being honest, though, even this year, it's weird because it wasn't like an intentional thing. But 2022 had a lot of shows that I was really interested in, that I really already like, and I'm already kind of in the midst of. And I was waiting for the new seasons, and I didn't quite catch up on the new seasons. Atlanta, Snowfall.
There's a ton of stuff.
There's a ton. Yeah. Ozark. I don't think I ever finished Ozark. Raising Cane. Like, there's so many shows out, and that's what it is. There's such a plethora of things out that once you start watching something, then
Terminal List is a big one.
Yeah. I think that's on my list as well. But there's so many things that once you start watching something else and you're waiting on that other season, if that thing that you picked up while that season was off continues through that next season, you're probably gonna miss that other season.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a pacing issue with all of the access to stuff, right? Because you can totally forget about a whole season of a show if you're not paying attention.
And not because it's not good, just because you're sucked in
watching other shit. Yeah, absolutely.
That happens to me a lot.
Right. And the one I'm not going to mention isn't there. And I have 2 more honorable mention TVs. And I think all of these, my honorable mention TVs, are just going to go quick, kind of like Nick's, because nobody else are watching these yet. Maybe we'll pick these up because we all mention them to each other. Another one is Kotaro Lives Alone, which only had Huh?
I watched that.
Okay. Now here's the thing. Kotaro Lives Alone. Most of the season came out last year, like November-ish. The thing is, one episode came out March of this year in 2022. And it was like, oh my God, Kotaro's back. Oh my God, it's one episode. What are they doing to us? And that was a really good episode. And it just reminded me like they need to give us another season of that. So that's another honorable mention. And my final honorable mention is Diabolical, which is presented by The Boys. So The Boys present Diabolical, which is basically the animated version of The Boys. And if you like The Boys, you'll love Diabolical. And if you like Diabolical, catch up on The Boys.
Yeah, although season 4 or whatever, we weren't exactly thrilled with, huh?
Fair. That is very fair.
Season 3 or whatever we watched.
Season 3.
We're doing TV shows we liked, right?
Yes.
Yeah, honorable mentions.
Right. So yeah, we're not quite bringing up The Boys, but The Boys presents Diabolical, which is their animated one. I enjoyed the hell out of that. I was mad how quick it ended.
We got Derpy here's got his mentions for the best movies for at least him. Entertainment value was Elvis, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, and Nope. So yeah, I heard that Guillermo. Yeah, I heard Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio is like really good. I need to check that out.
So here's
just
the deal.
Came out. So
it was my last week. We came down to Pinocchio or The Big Four. And the Big Four won because it was a foreign film. That's how we ended up doing that one instead of Pinocchio.
We'll have to review Pinocchio then for sure. Because I definitely want to check that out. And Elvis is, I think, the Baz Luhrmann movie, right? I think. Yeah. And
I know a couple people who liked it.
I heard it was really good. I didn't get a chance. It's really weird. That's one of those movies that when it first came out, I was like, oh, I want to see that. And then it just kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
I wasn't interested.
Yeah, I would. From a music.
I would have been because I like Baz Luhrmann. Yeah, I'll probably check that out too.
I wanted to know how they told the Elvis Presley story and what version of that story, like what section of the story were they telling? The personal life? Were they telling the road story of the musician? What part of the Elvis story were they telling?
I want to see. There's a movie I've been wanting to see, and it's kind of old, but it's Elvis and Nixon. And it's basically about the story about how Elvis convinced Richard Nixon to make him a DEA agent. Yeah, Elvis was like a special agent because he convinced the president to give him a badge.
What celebrity could do for you back in those days?
Right.
What celebrity can do for you today?
I mean, Shaq is a sheriff.
That's true.
No, Shaq
Steven
was
Seagal
a
is some sheriff somewhere.
Shaq was a sheriff. I forget what it was he did, but he did something. They had I believe stripped. I think he's like an honorable or something now. But before, I want to say he could actually go do like weekend patrols and stuff. And I was like, wait, what? Like Shaq actually out there pulling people over? Like, explain this.
Is Shaq shooting people?
I don't know. I think
Big Shaq don't need to shoot nobody.
Yeah, I think Shaq probably ended up going like to a lot of charity events and stuff,
Yeah. Policeman's ball or whatever. Yeah. Derpy also says Avatar 2 is an honorable mention. That's interesting.
That is.
I have not seen it.
Yeah, none of us kind of want to see that one.
Yeah.
We just don't want to be involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I know a few people who have seen it. Very mixed reviews.
You have to love Turquoise.
Yeah, I've heard people that say they like it better than the first one. So there might be something that's kind of different, I guess.
I heard one person tell me that they didn't remember what the first one was about when they saw the second one, so they couldn't put it together.
Oh no, that sounds terrible.
I mean, it's been 12 years, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know, but that was the funniest thing I had heard in reference to that movie. Like the people who liked it, they were they were actually able to describe very much so what the good points of it were. The people who disliked it, they just seemed like they didn't like it for like. I've gotten to a point where I understand that some people just don't like movies because they're too long or because the point goes over their head, and then it's like, oh, that was a terrible movie, like, or you just didn't get it.
Or they don't like the director, and James Cameron's one of those directors that people just really don't like. I don't
They
have
still
any.
give their money. Yeah, George
Yeah,
Lucas.
of course. I mean, like Avatar 2 is already made $1 billion, so it's doing very well.
Okay.
I mean, like
Okay.
something is working. And
Did it?
Derpy,
Dang.
yeah, it's already at $1 billion, so he's doing fine. Is why I put
Very
it
good
as an
point,
honorable
Derpy,
mention.
which is why it's an
Yeah,
honorable. Yeah, it doesn't make the list, but it is worth mentioning. Something worth talking about. That's a very good point.
it's a big seller for 2022 too, $1 billion. So
For sure. For sure.
I guess another honorable mention for me for TV is going to be. I'd be remiss if I didn't say Love, Death, and Robots. Man,
Enjoyed it.
I still think that we saw season 3 this year, and I think Love, Death, and Robots is one of the most unique things on streaming right now.
For sure.
I think it's great. I really love the animations. I love the short storytelling, devices, the epilogue nature.
Yeah. A few of those I thought they should really expand on because some of those came out really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I was thinking about that with this season of Love, Death, Robots. The concepts were so much deeper. It's almost like we got cheated.
Kinda. Oh yeah.
Like they could have actually given us like 30, 40-minute episodes out of some of those. But it's Love, Death, Robots. So if you give anything probably over about 15 minutes, it just seems cheesy.
Coming up, Derpy, don't worry. I got you.
Oh yeah, those are coming up.
Yeah. But Love, Death, Robots, again, it's one of those things that you kind of just it's very easy to think about and then just be like, meh. But when you think about each little vignette, either it's 11 minutes or it's 15 minutes long, the work that goes into making those little stories and then animating them, I mean, it's incredible. Just the way that they can do that. And I think it's one of those things where if I see a new season, I'm like, I got to watch it immediately. I got to watch it right away. And I'm probably going to end this and go watch it tonight because I'm thinking about it. So
that's how it goes. Yeah,
you know what? And since you guys are including animation in this, as far as TV shows, I'm going to throw an anime out there for that. An honorable mention that I actually really enjoy is To Your Eternity. It's about I know you guys probably have never heard of it, but it's about this entity that creates a living it's a living sphere that adopts the properties around it, and it's put on Earth, and eventually it becomes a person. And it's an emotional roller coaster where it learns about life and death in some of the worst kind of ways. But it can't, it itself cannot die. But it's learning to be a person in like the beginning of time. And it's created to destroy these things called knockers, which are living souls that want to be dead. They don't want to be alive. Yeah, it's dope.
Anime is hardcore when it comes to its to its storylines. That's for sure.
Right, and it's only 2 seasons in. The first season is man, it's an emotional roller coaster, especially when he comes across this little girl, and he becomes her because he becomes whatever he meets to imitate it, so he can understand it, and he learns language through imitation. Great anime.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds interesting. There's tons and tons of anime. I think, anime and manga are killing it right now. And it's because, a lot of our stuff is starting to falter a little bit. But,
it's funny because the thing I'm most excited for 2023, even though we haven't gotten there yet, I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm just going to say it's a manga.
Oh, okay. There we go. Nice little tease. Derpy's coming back with being a Star Wars fan. He loved Andor, or she loved Andor, and more than anything previously, but by Disney Star Wars. Also, Andor didn't need any toy merch. That's true.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, in comparison to Mando fans, for sure. I've only watched. Yeah, I've only watched a few episodes of Andor, but I can definitely tell you it's as visually consistent with. It's the most visually consistent with Star Wars that I've seen from anything Disney's done. That's for sure.
And for me, I haven't even seen a single episode of The Mandalorian, so that's where I'm at with Disney and Star Wars.
Right.
Mandalorian is the reason that Kenobi and Andor didn't get.
I don't care.
No, it didn't get a leak for me because of Mandalorian. Mandalorian, and maybe it's me. Maybe it's not the shows. Maybe it's me, right? But Mandalorian is another thing that started really hot. Like that thing started white hot, and then it got
Baby Yoda.
Kinda, but it wasn't even about Baby Yoda at first. It kind of just translated into other things, and then it became about that. And as it became more and more and more about this one little Yoda-like entity, it became kind of like, why am I watching this?
Oh, is that how it works? Because I've never seen a single episode of any of the new Star Wars stuff. The last thing I saw Star Wars was with you guys, I think, when we all saw, I think, Rogue
The Force
One.
Awakens. Oh,
No,
Rogue One.
Rogue
Oh, my
One.
God. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I was just like, why? Why? I think I saw Solo separately from you guys, I think. But again, why?
Why?
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. You're mentioning bad stuff. Don't do that. So listen.
My bad.
We're almost
I want to mention now. I have to throw out 2 more honorable mentions, and because I'm doing this because you brought up anime, and it made me realize I watch more animated stuff than I give credit to, I guess. And some things don't get viewed or get a chance from a lot of people because they're animations. And I think that should change. So because of that, I want to throw out 2 more honorable mentions. I think I'm up to like 5 now, so I'm gonna stop after this.
Yeah.
Disenchantment season 4 came out in 2022, so that counts. Disenchantment is a show on Netflix. It's by Matt Groening, same dude that made Simpsons.
Yeah. Over it.
It's a good show. I like it.
I saw the first season and I thought it was pretty decent. Yeah.
And for those who don't know, go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
No, I'm just gonna say I saw all the way up until I think season 4, and it was just like, I'm over it.
Yeah, like the end of season 3 going into season 4 was a little like, I don't know, but
I lost interest completely.
Yeah, but for me, by the middle of season 4, it picked back up and it got better.
Okay.
But don't start at season 4 by any means, please. For anybody, do not start at season 4. You will not be interested if you begin at season 4. But Disenchantment is just a show that's about a princess that lives in Fantasyland. That simple. Put your Simpsons spin on it and wonder where your imagination is going to take you. And the other show, season 3, I believe, came out this year in 2022. And it's the Harley Quinn show on HBO Max.
Over it.
Yeah, the cartoon show, right?
The cartoon show. Now, I can't speak for season 3 because I haven't gotten there yet. I know it came out in this year, but I haven't gotten to that season. I'm only in season 2, halfway through that. But all the way up now, it's a pretty good show. It's a pretty good show. I didn't expect it to be as entertaining as like a, Justice League and all that good junk. Like, the typical cartoons, but it's HBO. So she's able to be Harley. She's able to curse and be raunchy and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, as far as the people that play the voices, not going all that. You guys figure that out on your own.
Oh, that's Kaylee Cuoco. I can shoot that one.
Yeah, I know who it is, but some people will be like, "Oh, I don't like her," but it doesn't give you Kaylee Cuoco vibes. That's why I'm like, that doesn't matter.
Right.
So yeah, but the Harley Quinn show I think is a good watch, especially if you're not. Well, I don't know if it's a good watch alone, but it's a good watch with somebody you can laugh with.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know if it needs to be said. Rick and Morty.
Oh,
it doesn't need to be said.
Never needs to be said, but always a great honorable mention.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm not a Rick and Morty person. Trust me.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's for Hot Topic kids.
That's actually I'm not even mad at that, and I like Rick and Morty. I think that's actually pretty accurate.
Yeah. So Derpy's giving us his 5 here, and this is from I believe he said Back to the Countdown. I just want to say from favorites 5 to 1 top 5 best movies. So he says The Northman. That's a good honorable mention again for me too, because I thought that was very good. Black Phone, which I heard was really good.
See that.
I need to watch that. Did you?
I've seen Black Phone. Yeah, I did. I did.
I'll have to check that one out. All Quiet on the Western Front, which is the remake I think they did for Netflix, right? And I heard that was like really cinematic and stuff too.
Interesting name.
Yeah, The Batman. That's right. That came out. There's been so much that's come out. Yeah.
I didn't care for The Batman.
After you give Derpy's number one, I'm going to tell you how many movies came out this year because I actually found out.
Oh, I know. It's insane. And obviously, one of the highest grossing movies of 2022, Tom Cruise whipping everybody's butt with Top Gun Maverick. I mean, geez Louise, that movie was a runaway hit. I mean, kind of.
I know a lot of people liked it. I just wasn't even interested in seeing it.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody I've seen who's seen it has said it's amazing. So
right.
Listen, the amount of preparation that went into that movie, I watched, and mind you, I haven't even seen the movie, but I watched so much of the behind the scenes about the jets and junk. Yeah, there's no way that movie's not good. There's absolutely no way that movie's not good.
I passed on it because it didn't have any zombies in it.
Well, yeah, that's fair. But it has pretty sweet, jets that are.
Yeah, I don't care about jets.
Well, it's cool because it's shot all practically too. You don't get like CGI jet fights, it's actual jets in the air, which is pretty sweet.
I just remember the synopsis for the first one, and I was just like, yeah.
Wait, the synopsis or the synopsis that you get on Twitter?
On Twitter, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah. I've seen the first one, and I thought it was a good movie. And then that Twitter, I don't have Twitter, but the whole concept that they put out there, that ruined it.
Yeah,
of course.
Because now every time I look at it, it was like I can't not see that.
Sad. Yeah, that movie got played a lot.
Well, the numbers don't lie about Top Gun Maverick. That's for sure.
I am not taking anything away from it.
It made so much money. Holy moly!
So speaking of, there was a lot of movies this year. There were a total of 14,008 movies that were released.
How?
What the fuck?
How?
Streaming,
all the streaming services.
You got to think you can release a movie independently and put it in theaters. You're not getting in.
And you can put it on Amazon now too.
You could put it on Amazon. Yeah, you could put a lot of things on Amazon.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. That get people in trouble.
What you talk about? We haven't seen him in weeks. Don't worry about it.
Jeez. But I thought the same thing, but then apparently that's actually pretty average. That's fairly
14,000, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess in this era, I don't know what it was like, say 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, but, Derby, don't worry about it. We know that it was a good movie for sure. It's he says he's not a Snyder fan, and the Batman understood the character definitely. I think we watched the Batman. We said that we enjoyed it. It was just a little bit long for us. I think that was the biggest part for me.
I think we all literally took physical breaks from that movie before we finished.
But Robert Pattinson was interesting. But he does get unnecessary hate just because of the Twilight thing.
Yeah,
which is
get sparkly.
I think like 7.5, something like that.
Yeah. But Robert Pattinson's a great actor. It's just he did Twilight, and now everybody thinks of him like that.
It's like Rupert Grint. When I see Rupert Grint in the film, I'm like, yo, this is gonna be good. Most people see Rupert Grint in the film and they're like, oh, that's
Ron Weasley.
Ron Weasley, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you guys are really? You still see Ron Weasley? Like, all right, like you've been missing some really good movies if you still see Ron Weasley.
It's hard to shake those franchises, man. It's
very
hard.
Is.
A lot of. You know what? I've heard so many stories of people who would turn down certain roles because they don't want to be. It's we have
typecast.
Well, no. So it's not quite being typecast. A lot of people are afraid of being typecast, but some people are afraid of being pigeonholed into being known as this one character, and that's not always as like the gang member or the
Jaleel White.
Right, like Jaleel White, he'll always be Urkel.
Always.
Alfonso Ribeiro, he'll always be Carlton.
Or the dude from Training Day.
Which one?
The guy that the Cholo guy.
Oh yeah, now he's typecast.
Yeah,
he's typecast. I know exactly what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
The young guy. Well, I don't know how young he really is, but bald Spanish guy.
Mm-hmm.
You mean the one who was the same role in Evan Almighty?
In every movie.
Bruce Almighty.
And everything else.
Yeah.
And in his defense, he feeds his kids doing it. So hey,
shout out to him.
Right. Or he feeds himself and his family. I'm not sure what his exact situation. I don't know if he has kids.
Right.
Derpy says he's one of the few in the DC fan base that's actually excited for James Gunn in charge, though. Yeah, I think that. Well, I mean, maybe I don't understand people's reservations about James Gunn, but I mean, he did a pretty darn good job with the Guardians. And I think that DC has so much going for it that they just need somebody to do something with it. That
Henry Cavill's out.
They need to get rid of the Snyderverse. They have to get rid of the Snyderverse. It was a mistake, and they got to reboot everything. Unfortunately,
I like the Snyder cut of Justice League. To be fair,
I think these studios invest so much money in one film that they have to be willing to invest more in a rebuild.
Yeah.
Put out a couple of B films and get your money up. Hustle your money back up, player. We understand the grind.
Yeah, DC will bounce back, but they do need somebody that has like a clear vision to get them on, like on a good footing. Because right now it's just been a little bit too messy with all of their franchises. So I think.
Well, James they brought in Buffy's director,
Joss Whedon.
Yeah,
they brought him to DC.
Yeah, wasn't he doing? Didn't he do the original Justice League?
Yeah,
and that's why it was Dookie Snacks.
I didn't even.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And this right. And that's because originally it was the Snyderverse, and then they brought in Joss Whedon, I believe, and he just kind of pooed on everything.
We got a war going on, Corey. What's going on, Corey? Happy New
Year. Hey, what's going on, Corey?
Snyder League of Justice. Snyder Cut of Justice League is much better than the Whedon
As
product.
You read that,
exactly.
As the host of this channel, we are not weighing in, but we will allow them to weigh in the comments.
Yeah, I don't know enough to be honest. I can't call myself a DC head, so yeah.
I don't think
I wouldn't say I am either.
Out of there quick. Yeah.
But I enjoyed I enjoyed what Snyder was trying to do, and then when Joss Whedon came in, because they had to switch out. They switched out Snyder for Joss Whedon to do the Justice League movie because he was going through what he was going through.
Yeah. I thought it was the other way around.
No, Snyder's daughter, I think,
he had passed away.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they took him out and brought in Joss Whedon, and he just kind of and made that snack that we saw that made no sense.
Took out Martian and Manhunter and all that good stuff.
Oh, right. See, Derpy says that's where they're going. That's where they are going. They are going. Young Gunn is writing the Superman film, which is the first in the DCU, and then Jason Momoa is rumored to be recast as Lobo. I've heard about this. Yeah.
I think that'll be a great. I think that's a great kind of recasting for him to go to Lobo. I think he'll do a great job doing that.
I think Momoa would be a much better villain in general than them trying to get him to play this goofy hero type.
Yeah.
He ain't funny.
Yeah, it's almost like they tried to position him to be DC's Thor. No, they want him to be DC's Chris Hemsworth, which is like he's the funny himbo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I went with the Channing Tatum. We're on the same page, but that's why I went with Channing Tatum.
That makes sense when you put it that way.
Yeah. The himbo. All right. Well, let's get into some of the stuff that so do we want to leave the worst for the last, or we want to leave the best?
So we've done honorable mention TV. We haven't really done the movies and the worst yet. We've really only done honorable mentions for the most part. Let's cover a little bit of what we've covered on the channel.
Okay. Sounds good.
Because I think it's very interesting. Had to do some numbers over here, guys. Sorry.
Hey, if numbers could talk.
Let us know what was our worst rated movie this year.
Oh, I got you. So
okay, cool.
I'll if y'all won't, I can actually just give it as a list and knock this out.
Yeah.
So in 2022, Screen Time Continuum had 93 episodes. 50 of those episodes reviewed movies. 37 of those episodes reviewed TV shows. 5 of those episodes were trailer episodes, and 1 of those episodes was bonus content when Nick went through the match scene for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Our bottom 3 review ratings are Kimmy, Hellhole, and the third lowest is actually a tie between Dash Cam, Spirited, and the Guardian special. Those,
okay.
Yeah.
I can sure pick them.
Kimmy
Those
was
are
hot garbage, dude. Kimmy was. I forgot Kimmy was this
Kimmy
year,
was
dude.
shit.
It was so bad.
So bad.
Which one is Kimmy?
I reflected Kimmy. I don't even know if you watched that one with us. Kimmy is the one with Zoe Kravitz, where she plays the girl who's fresh out of COVID and she's back to work. I think they're like a hacker. They're not hackers, but they like analyze sound.
Like
I did see that.
Yeah.
I did see that. I didn't review that with you guys, but I saw that another one I saw independently. I was like, what is this?
Another movie with a good concept and a terrible execution.
Yeah, that was like, a hot garbagey movie.
And the terrible execution in that was mostly the lack of consistency. Like, does she even know she has a problem? Or excuse me, a tick or an element? Does she understand what she's exuding here? Because I can't tell that she's done any homework. If she's playing a blind person, she's looking this person dead in the eye.
Wow.
Yeah.
That movie was dookie snacks for sure.
Yeah. I do want to say though, when I looked at this and I found out that Dash Cam, Guardians, and Spirited are all tied, I needed to give Spirited a higher rating just to save it from that shit because it's not that low.
We actually had a pretty decent year then. If you think about the previous year.
That's true.
The previous year gave us The Empty Man and
right.
Yeah.
Our lowest movie. Okay, so watch this. I don't even remember what our lowest movie was in 2021, but our lowest rated movie again is Kimmy at 2.8. I know for a fact we had about 3 or 4 movies in 2021 that were about 2.3.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
Without remembering what those movies were, I know
the little things, Reminiscence, The Empty Man. I still remember him in my head.
You're right. Yeah, it's those. It's all of those, and maybe a few more. I think Anna and the Apocalypse is down there too.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kimmy is rated better than those. So for Kimmy to be a shit movie, it's still better than the worst 5 movies of last year that we reviewed.
That is very true.
That's hilarious.
So we're improving.
We're improving. We're learning how to spot them a little better here. And we actually have, I think, like 4 or 5 movies plus 9. No, I know we have about 5 or 6 plus 8. I think we have 3 or 4.
Where did Paper Tigers land on that?
Paper Tigers was like 2.8 or something.
Yeah, Paper Tigers was definitely low.
Because you guys definitely hated that one.
It was
didn't like it as much. Nick hated it. I just didn't like it as much. Nick actually hated it.
Yeah.
So those are our bottom 3 movies.
Okay.
Our bottom 3 TV shows: Rings of Power, and what was it? Rings of Power, Moon Knight, and
didn't watch Moon Knight at all.
And those are tied. Rings of Power and Moon Knight are tied at 3. And then our next lowest TV show actually is The Boys.
Right, and that wasn't
season 3. I mean, was it season 3 or season 4?
Season
3.
I still haven't watched it.
Yeah, we gave it like a 5 the last season.
I didn't watch the last season. Season 2, I thought 1 and 2 were great, and then when I started season 3, I just I don't even care.
Yeah,
I just lost interest like mid episode.
I understand.
Let's see, Corey Hyperions was trash leaking out of a hole in the bottom of a dumpster. That is disgusting because I just smelled that in my nose because I know exactly what that smells like. I used to work in food service. I know what that smells like.
I'm not sure if I know how bad it is, but I'm pretty sure
that's bad. Yeah, there was one that I really wanted to mention, but I guess we can. Is there any more of our numbers?
Yeah.
For the best and worst. What were in the bet? What was the best category?
Right. I was just about to get. I'm supposed to be moving faster through these. So our top 3 movies: Hail Caesar, because we reviewed that this year, as I said earlier. RRR and Everything Everywhere All at Once. At 9.3 and 9.3, Hail Caesar and RRR tied 9.3 each, and Everything Everywhere All at Once, I think, is the only movie we've ever given a solid 10.
Yeah, that was a 10 across the board.
Yeah, even though I wasn't there for that, I'll co-sign that 100%.
Oh yeah, I think it was Dejan, and he gave it a solid 10 as well.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Or Mike.
For sure.
But either way, yeah, it was a solid 10. Everybody gave it.
We all agree then. We're just agreeing all across the board on that one.
Everybody loved that movie.
Consensus there.
Top television rated 9. Rated 9. And the second television actually is Love, Death Robots at 825. The third rated television is Smiling Friends. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Smiling Friends.
I don't think I saw that.
Probably not. That was something Mike brung to us. It was pretty good too.
Okay.
Stranger Things is our number 1 rated television show at 9.
Right.
And
I'm almost over it.
what's crazy is we didn't really care for season 4, and it still was the best TV show we watched all year.
Yeah. And it was because because season 4 kind of saved the whole thing. Because it was almost on its way out. Like I was 1 season away from being like, I'm never gonna watch it again.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah.
Season 4 was like, all right, you got me. All right, I guess.
Everybody's back home. We know there's still some stuff that wrapped up season 5, but let's wrap this shit up. At the end of season 5, I want to see a flash forward to a marriage or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Derpy's got his honorable mentions for bad stuff as Disney's Pinocchio. That was the one with Tom Hanks, right? Yeah, there was a Disney's
two different Pinocchios.
Yes, because Pinocchio is not actually owned by Disney.
I do remember. Why am I tapping my head? I'm sorry. Oh snap! I'm vaguely like, what? And then I remember that quirky. Oh hey, yep.
Yeah, it was something that nobody asked for, and nobody wanted Tom Hanks in it. So, Halloween Ends. Mike, did you watch that?
I did.
Did you like it?
I mean, not really.
Yeah. Well, it's Derpy says it was on one of the worst. So
yeah.
What about Firestarter? Did you see that?
Really?
No.
Firestarter.
That was the Carrie or the Firestarter remake, right?
Right. You know what? I meant to watch that, but I never got around to it. I actually forgot about it.
I think that went straight to Hulu too. I was actually interested in catching that one. Another one that just kind of disappeared from my purview.
Probably one that would have been fun to make fun of.
Yeah, I'm about to say maybe we'll pick that up later in the year just as a filler.
Matter of fact, I might watch it tonight because I'm all for those kind of movies.
I can give you guys one of my worst TVs this year, just because you guys haven't seen it, so it's probably not going to elicit much conversation. We're moving into
the best and worst now, so we want to go into
best and worst. Yeah, let's just go into the worst. We've already kind of talked about the best, we'll probably just retouch that at the end for the people tuning in. But worst TV for me this year, Westworld season 4.
Didn't see it.
Exactly. Nobody saw it. I
was excited for Westworld when it first came out, and I watched 3 episodes and completely lost interest.
Wow.
We watched the first season together on this show, and it's the first season's great. You can end it at the first season. Yeah.
First season is brilliant.
But at season 2 got a little bit worse. Season 3 got like way worse, and season 4 is so bad. I tried to watch 1 episode and I couldn't get into it, and I loved season 1. So probably the biggest letdown of TV for sure, because it was anticipated. It was gonna it took like two or so years to make. So but the fact that nobody's talking about it after everybody was talking about season 1, it's kind of like what Stranger Things almost could have been.
Yeah.
Right.
So
right on the brush of being trash.
Yeah, Westworld season 4. No good.
What did you guys watch Raising Dion season 2?
Nope. I wanted to, didn't get to it. Raising Dion.
I wanted to watch it. I liked the first season, and then 3-4 episodes into season 2, I was just like, I'm over it. Because I felt like they were just starting to push all those tropes.
Yeah.
And
I think that's what sucks, when things have some level of originality and they start to remind you of something else you've already seen.
Right. And I didn't like it. I couldn't get past, I think, episode 3 or 4. And I was just like, I'm good. I don't even want to watch this. It's like, what are we doing here?
Ooh, Derpy's got one of my worst movies of the year. So Derpy says his 5, Fantastic Beasts 3. Yes.
Refuse to watch it.
I totally even forgot that Morbius came.
Shit. I didn't.
No, that was on the list.
It's
Hold on,
Morbin
wait. It's Morbin time. Oh, the Morbius memes. Yeah. Hold on, wait.
Yes,
This is
yes.
his good list.
I think this is the bad list. This
Oh,
is
okay.
yeah.
This might be his bad list.
I
for sure.
checked
Because
out
he
of
was doing honorable
Fantastic
mentions for
Beasts.
bad.
Yeah, I checked out
Doctor
of
Strange is
Fantastic Beasts like within the first 10 minutes when they made Dumbledore gay. I was like, I'm out.
Right.
I wiped my
Wait,
hands.
right.
I'm through.
don't. Never mind. You don't have to explain.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
first
I
10
caught you.
minutes.
Okay.
In the first 10 minutes. And it was like, what the? Really?
Mm.
It's a magical world.
Doctor
Apparently-
Strange's
Strange.
mom is terrible as well.
Doctor Strange is that's on my list.
Mhm.
Thor: Love and Thunder. Yes, definitely.
Terrible.
It was so bad we just didn't even bother with it.
Right.
And
Terrible.
then
I seen
Jurassic
it.
World Dominion too. Oh my
No
gosh.
interest.
What is Jurassic Park turned into, man? It is
A cash
insane.
grab.
They want
Yes.
they want Chris Pratt to be the guy so bad.
I'm
really
not
do.
gonna blame him. It's a
I'm
cash.
not blaming him. I'm
It's
not
a
blaming him.
cash grab that they just want to rape our childhoods
No,
over.
listen. Let's be clear. I'm not blaming Chris Pratt about any of the things he's been doing. Make your money, young man. I'm blaming everybody else, like the unit around that, because I'm trying to figure out, like, are you really trying to make this guy something that he isn't? Now, more power to him for them trying, but I just don't know how that's going to fare for his career later on when he's not, in about another 4 or 5 years when he's not this hunky guy that they really keep trying to push him to be. Like, he's a good actor, a decent actor. Let him show his range and all of those things, but they want to push it a different way, and it makes you ponder.
Does, yeah, for sure. Let's see. So Corey's here. He's got the biggest letdown was an anime series called So I'm a Spider, So What? It started off with a really cool premise, and it's after about 6 hours, you finally see there's going to be no resolution. The plot never comes together or makes a coherent sense at all, and they wrap it up with nonsense.
That's the worst.
Now, I personally like that anime. I seen it. I liked it. I think they just the season ended and they just didn't do anything. They just
get
ended.
Mike and Corey on together to discuss anime deep tracks.
That makes me think of so there's one that I kept thinking about coming back to. I was having discussions about shows and this kept coming up, and I kept having to tell people, hey, that was 2020, or like early 2021. It's the end of the Sabrina series on Netflix.
Never. I watched the first season of that and I was like, nope, I'm not going to entertain this shit.
The series was good. The last season was good. The last episode, like the very ending, was so bad and so confusing that you're just angry. It's like a seething anger that will never go away because they can't fix it because the show's over. It's like they go through everything and now she's just going to sacrifice herself and go sit in the nothing with her boyfriend. You're the most powerful person in the world, dude. Yeah. What are you doing?
Well, shout out. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just gonna say I watched the first season of that and I was like, why am I even watching this? Because it was just like with the Lucifer thing. For me, it was like the Lucifer thing. You're gonna convince me that people who worship Satan are the good guys. Yeah. What? I couldn't bring myself to pull through with that.
And what made Sabrina work was that it was kind of wholesome and it was on TGIF. You know what I mean? Like it was very wholesome. It was family TV on the Friday night.
Was not
the original show, absolutely.
Right. So it was like they tried to make it edgy.
Yeah, this was going back to the comic book and all, trying to make it that.
Speaking of,
same thing they did with Archie.
I got another honorable mention that we just finished actually, which is pretty decent. But Wednesday, I didn't think that I was gonna like it. It's not bad.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I don't want to watch
decent. Oh,
I'm contrarian like that. When everybody likes something, it's kind of like,
You're such a hipster.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I strive to be the hipster guy.
My only gripe is that Luis Guzman is Gomez, and that just does not work for me. Sorry.
It's so funny.
But no, I'm sorry. Gomez is a suave character, and Luis Guzman is anything but.
Gomez is goofy.
Well, remember, you can't have strong male leads.
Right. I think that maybe they did that on purpose, but who knows? I don't know.
No, I think Mike's on the ball with that because Gomez was a very strong male character. Like his
He loved his
misogyny
wife.
was sexy but his misogyny was sexy to her, or what is considered misogyny. It was sexy to her. And
he was very Pepe Le Pew, you know what I
No,
mean? Like,
let's not go that far.
Oh no, he was.
Because Pepe Le Pew was a rapist.
Well, we were just watching the Addams Family Values, and yeah, he's definitely pretty aggressive.
Like, Pepe
I'm sorry, I misspoke. I'm sorry. He was
better not misspeak again.
Yeah. Shout out to Derpy.
Yes.
Yeah. Honorable mention of 2022. Yeah, same for me. I had mentioned that one a moment ago as well. Hustle. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not sure if you're a basketball fan, Derpy. If you didn't catch me say it earlier, you do know Juan Hernan Gomez is a real NBA player, right? Like, I forgot for like 20 minutes. I keep saying I have to tell everybody that I forgot for all of 20 minutes, and then I remembered, like, oh yeah, that's Juan. I
got another terrible TV for you guys. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Terrible.
Sorry, what? I couldn't hear you.
Yeah. The idea that you would make baby Leia a character in an Obi-Wan Kenobi show drives me absolutely up the wall.
So
and then she's like 5 years old.
No, I didn't know. I mean, by the time of the movies.
I shit you not. Like, there is moments in that show where little 5-year-old with 5-year-old legs is trying to run her fastest away from grown men, and they have to act like an episode of Little Rascals to not catch her. Like, they have to kind of like
over diving catches and stuff.
When she's trying to run away, and it's like tick 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 tick. She's like going, like not even going a mile an hour, and they're pretending like they can't catch her. It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And Ewan McGregor deserved more, and I just don't think that he got to be anything that he should have been in his own show. So that's definitely a bad one for me. I did not like it.
Understandable. And so we're still on worst TV, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I have this habit, especially with television shows, because I watch so much of a variation. I watch a lot of documentaries. I watch like Absurd Planet, like animal shows and stuff like that. I watch a lot of that stuff. So if I'm watching like a show that's like dialogue based and it's just not going anywhere, I'll turn it off and find something. I'll go to one of my shows that I'm used to watching.
Yeah.
It's a couple of shows. Like, I was trying to think of a few of the shows that I literally turned off, and so I can remember which shows I went to watch. My favorite show of the year, which I still haven't mentioned and I'm not going to yet, it's literally a go-to for me. When I'm not enjoying another show, I'll pause that show and go straight to it. Just get a couple of laughs in. That and the show called Archer on FX.
I haven't watched that in a while, but I've never been disappointed by it. I just never remember to watch it.
I think they're on like season 6. They have a new season. I didn't even see that last one that you had up there, Nick.
Oh yeah, he was just saying that the Obi-Wan show was kind of crap. He grew up on the prequel era. Yeah. Ewan did deserve better. I think he was a great Obi-Wan. The prequels have their own problems, but compared to the sequels, they look amazing. So I guess it's all about perspective.
Based on what you guys are putting out there, Ewan McGregor deserved a better pitch. Can we mention somebody else? I'm not going to say this is necessarily the worst TV, but Ethan Hawke deserved a better run this year.
Oh, don't even get me started, man. Moon Knight is. We have to say Moon Knight was one of the worst. Corey says here, I canceled himself as a fan from supporting Ewan. Yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough.
I don't even know who's in Moon Knight.
Ethan Hawke and Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac, thank you.
That's Ethan Hawke. I didn't know that. I thought that was
the
Ethan Hawke is the bad guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I didn't know.
Moon Knight.
And
Oscar Isaac did an excellent job. Like, he did
the best that he could with a shit idea. Yeah.
Because they twist and turned it a little too much, but Ethan Hawke didn't get enough screen time.
Yeah.
It's just weird. He just didn't get enough screen time.
And
And some of his screen time was during Oscar Isaac's monologues. Many monologues. But yeah, Moon Knight definitely they didn't do Ethan Hawke justice. And because we're talking about Ewan McGregor not getting done justice. Yeah. Yes,
no, 50 million piles of crap. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay. He's upping the ante for us here.
No, we haven't begun to destroy Disney yet. We'll get there. Yeah. We have to, just because
we don't need to go into She-Hulk.
We don't need to go into She-Hulk directly, but Disney is going to get some.
I think that's a certainly a great mention for worst TV, even though Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 93%.
We know that Rotten Tomatoes is paid off.
I know, but I like to mention it just because it's funny. 93%.
I honestly wish I knew somebody who genuinely thought it was a good show.
I haven't met one person yet.
No.
I'm sure there's a woke somebody out there who loved it.
Listen, watch this. Even little kids don't like it.
Oh, especially little kids don't like it. You know, it was made. So She-Hulk was a show that was made for the people who wrote it. That's all it is. It's just a show for the women that wrote it because they thought it was relatable to them, and that's it. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
yeah.
Bro, come on.
So I mean, you know, like, is it so relatable to get drunk and then have a random one night stand and not remember who you slept with? Yeah, so relatable.
Wait, what? That happens in the movie, in the show?
Oh, She-Hulk is like an alcoholic that kind of like is, going through her dating life in the show.
It's the retelling of the modern woman's circumstances in dating right now.
Yeah,
and then throw in some gamma rays.
I think she does have a drinking problem in the comic books. I don't know about the dating part, but it's another conversation.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, a beloved character in the comics, and sort of like everybody that should have loved her in the show hates her. So something happened. Something went wrong.
Something definitely went wrong.
Because all of those people were guaranteed customers if you had just done a good She-Hulk show.
Yeah,
I agree.
There's so many people who say that they love She-Hulk in the comics. So,
but that it comes back to that getting away from the IP.
Mm-hmm.
It comes back to one of those kind of things where they force their own ideas on somebody else's IP, and then they like, well, why you don't like it?
Yeah.
Like, what you mean?
Sometimes I've been but I've been thinking sometimes, is it that they're doing it because they want to be creative, or are they trying to avoid having to pay the full copyright price? Like,
I can't say.
I don't know. Does The Walking Dead count? There's a new Walking Dead this year?
I fell off on The Walking Dead.
There might be like, Fear of the Walking Dead, or what was the other 5 shows that all spun off of it?
Honestly, I think The Walking Dead might still be going on, you guys.
I fell off of The Walking Dead in season, I think it was like 7 or 8.
Yeah, 2012, you mean?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I was a huge fan, though, when it first came out. Huge.
Listen, when it first came out, at any given moment, you can go to Mike's house, right? And guess what was on TV? The Walking Dead. Day or night. Dead. Somehow Mike knew when the rerun of the episode was going to come out.
Mike, you missed the series finale. It was this year.
What?
Dang.
Honestly, I don't care.
Are there any? I only have one question, Derpy. Are there any of the original characters in there? And if it's the little boy, that would be
no, he's been dead.
Okay.
Corey says that he couldn't get past killing Glenn like that. That's when it was over for him.
You know what? I think I stuck around for 2 more seasons after Glenn, and that's when man, that was hard. That was hard.
Glenn was hard. I know a lot of people that were just like, nope. After Glenn died, they were just like, nah.
But but to be fair, the Glenn scene is canon. That's authentic to the comic. Mm-hmm. Every shot for shot, it was authentic. And you could feel some kind of way about it, but it was what's supposed to happen. That was one of the few things that was supposed to happen.
Well, he was supposed to die.
Man, yeah, it was a hard pill though, man.
But to
that
be
was
fair,
tough.
the story shouldn't have lasted 20 years either. So I guess like people were probably thinking, well, if you're gonna make the story last 20 years, then maybe you could take some creative liberties with some of the characters we do like.
Well, they took a lot of creative liberties with the show, though. To be fair,
yeah,
because a lot of stuff didn't happen the way it was supposed to.
I do want to give one more shout,
and that was it.
For the worst television, and to me, this is the absolute worst television. Moon Knight isn't the absolute worst because visually it was pretty fucking dope.
Who cares? That's the point.
Oh, I'll tell you. Anybody who's seen Rings of Power.
Oh wow, we knew that was coming.
Oh yeah. Anybody who's seen Rings of Power. You see Rings of Power and Moon Knight, and you go, "Oh yeah, I'll take Moon Knight. Yep, give me that all over again. I'll watch."
And
it.
That's
That's it.
So Rings of Power was fun, guys, wasn't it? It was great.
It was fun.
The best part was
what never happened.
The best part was none of it.
Did you watch it? You watched Rings of Power, right, Mike?
I did. I watched it. I watched it and then watched you guys review it and was arguing at you guys, but you couldn't hear me.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was. We would talk about it off air.
Yeah.
Man, that show was fantastic. If you love the credits,
man,
every episode that ended got better. It was like, oh, it's over. All right, cool. Let's think about what all happened. What the hell did I just watch?
The credits.
And then you get to the next episode and you be like, all right, cool. Let me put it together. What the hell did really? Galadriel. That's what he did. Galadriel.
Aside from Galadriel, name one character in that show.
Mina Sorvino.
What? Mina Sorvino is not in it.
Exactly.
No.
I just named the first thing that came to my head. I didn't even.
Okay. Fair enough.
I don't. Theon? Nope.
Nope. That's Game of Thrones.
Elendil.
Yeah, Who? That's cheating because that's also from Lord of the Rings. But yes, I get.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Elendil.
Dang, yeah. Nick, I didn't realize I can't name none of the other characters.
Right.
I just love how an all-powerful immortal elf is able to withstand the pyroclastic flow.
Pyroclastic flow.
Like Ice Cube said.
Volcano to the face, man. To the face.
Right.
Yeah. I got
Volcano to the face.
Arendir.
Oh, you got one. Nice. Yes.
And I almost called the lady Browning, but her name is Bronwyn.
Might as well.
And I was thinking,
we saw a female dwarf.
His name is Theo.
Oh, that's right. There you go. Okay. See, you were in the ballpark.
I was over there.
Yeah.
It took me a minute though. I can name more people from House of
Let me IMDb it real quick.
So much faster.
Ayla's saying that getting a volcano to your face is possible because we saw a documentary about people that were on a volcano that got hit by a pyroclastic flow, but they were all severely burned for months and months and months, and most of them died. Not one of them.
Not just left. Covered in ash and what's
with
going
a little
on?
bit of soot on her cheeks, like nothing happened.
Looking around like
Queen Muriel was only blind. She was perfectly fine under her blindness.
Right. And she was still gorgeous.
And
you're a queen. You gotta make sure you're looking right.
To say, listen, how is that supposed to go away with the ash on her face?
Right.
Right.
You thought soot was gonna take that away? All that beauty.
No.
But yeah, also keep in mind, Mike, we are talking about the fact that Galadriel was perfectly fine, but so was the rest of the army.
Right. Did they have any casualties?
A few.
Where she said the next scene is literally her eyebrows not even singed. Yeah, exactly.
Still a nice perky blonde. Looks like she just got fresh out the shower and threw some red dust on her face for making.
And how much did it cost to make this pilot?
Man, I actually forget. But
$500 million. I think season 1 was $250 million. I think in total
we knew how much it was per episode, didn't we?
It was like $65 million an episode or something like that.
I'm sure if numbers could talk, they would tell us.
Yeah, I have it written down somewhere. I know it.
I know you do, because numbers talk.
They do.
That's right.
To me, at least.
You know, I'm just throwing those plugs out there.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I do appreciate it. I think the interesting thing is how often it coincides with the other things that we do, to where it's like, oh no, this is really just how my brain works. I can't help it.
Right.
And we get to actually display that to people, like, oh snap, he really like, yeah, I can't help it. It's a little off. But
let's see. Not in. Are we? We can go to movies.
We can
too.
go past worst TV. Worst movies. We haven't done worst movies.
Mm-mm.
My worst movies. Nick, you named one already. I agree. Morbius is probably the worst movie of the year. End of Road is very close behind it.
Oh, that was a bad one.
Pretty bad movie.
Dude, we forget the most two iconic piles of crap shows of 20. Oh no.
Oh,
Derpy,
which one?
You gotta let us know.
Let us know.
There's so many.
Yeah, and that, okay, so that's the other thing. There was a portion where we were talking about how over inundated the shows are. So I also believe we've all seen so much that we're not possibly going to remember everything we've seen.
No, it's impossible for me to remember. I had to go through lists and the things I've watched before, and then some
few days worth of going through things.
But I'm sure Derpy will let us know. There's probably one that we're just like, oh duh,
just not thinking about it.
Yeah.
But for sure, Morbius is on that why did I watch this list.
Oh, that movie was so bad, man.
Like,
holy
Morbius
moly.
is one of those movies that I got up and walked away from and did not pause it.
Wow.
Why would you?
Why? Yeah, exactly. Why would I?
I feel like Jared Leto is like a charisma black hole. Like he's got like I don't know why. I just don't want to. I don't want to like him. I
don't want to like him.
Yeah, when I see him, I don't want to like him. I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah. He's got a face that makes you want to punch it, maybe.
I mean, that's what happened in Fight Club, right? He got his face beaten in. You know,
he was in it.
Yeah, he's the kid that Edward Norton beats nearly the life out of, and breaks his face all up. Yeah.
Oh wow! Right.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that probably felt great.
Oh yeah. So Derpy says Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, which we just finished saying.
We just talked about those a little bit. Rings of Power we just covered.
Now the second one is kind of a hot take. Hot D's kind of a hot take there, Derpy. And I don't know if I could put it in the worst, but I would sympathize.
We didn't to be fair, we didn't like the first half. 4 episodes was like, this is pretty dookie snacks.
About 4 of 10, we were like, what are we watching? I'd say maybe 4.5 of 10. It wasn't really until they were adults that we were like, oh, okay, cool.
Because it was weird up until that point.
The last few episodes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know,
they intentionally made it weird.
Didn't like. Yeah. I think the last 3 or 4 episodes saved it and got that rating up to a 6 because we gave it a 6 that entire series.
Yeah, because now we're all committed to seeing season 2 and how that works out.
And that's not really good for TV shows. 1, 2. Keep in mind it had 2 episodes longer than Rings of Power, so it actually had more time to make up. After Rings of Power was no longer there, then we were just able to focus on House of Dragon for a minute. And they actually threw us a bit of a bone when it was just them competing for the week.
Yeah, but House of the Dragon did not rank very high on our list just because you know, the stink of Game of Thrones isn't out of my mouth yet, and you know, like I don't know, I just don't like the story of House of the Dragon all that much. I don't feel it as compelling as Game of Thrones. Not to say that it doesn't have its value or if people don't like it, it's fine. Of course, all of you guys watching know these are highly objective or subjective opinions that we have. So you can disagree with us all you like.
Absolutely.
Corey's got a serious question. Go for it.
Is with all the streaming services tripping over themselves for original content, they don't have to pay licensing for. Original content they don't have to pay licensing for. Got it. Are we doomed to be inundated with this shit from now on?
Yes.
Here's the thing. Yes, this is the new normal, but here's the reality. We've always been over inundated with shit, but we've never been able to select the shit ourselves. If that makes sense.
Oh, well, I mean, we can parlay this into Derpy's. We totally didn't even mention this. Halo was so bad. Halo show. We forgot that it even happened. It was a show.
You know what? You're right. I watched the first. I did. I watched the first 3 episodes and was like, Yeah. Wait, what?
Was it
No,
called
it's just
Master
called
Chief or is it
Halo.
called Halo?
No,
Halo.
Oh snap! You know what? Yeah, it just
it was terrible. It was
I didn't
It
watch
was
it.
terrible.
that bad.
I forgot about it. I had no interest.
I
Oh,
like the fact that they
real
used the
quick.
giant leprechaun to play Master Chief, and I was okay with that.
Giant
And
leopard.
if you know, you know. Everybody not gonna know, but he
Wow.
was also the leprechaun in American Gods.
Okay.
Mm.
I know
But
who you're talking about.
he's a big leprechaun,
I know who you're
Oh,
talking about.
that
and
dude. Yeah.
yeah, I liked him as an actor, but yeah, that show was worse
It
than
was so
Dookie
bad,
Snacks.
dude.
Same,
It was
Corey.
so bad.
Huge Halo
Wow.
fan and was not tempted to watch that show.
Yeah, we
I
grew
think
up on that, man.
right. I think what happens a lot when they try to do that, it's like, all right, you just want my money and you just want my attention. Either
Right.
like, nah, I'm good. I'm going the other way.
I think the only person I know who watched maybe watched it in entirety was Marco.
Fair.
I think
I
he
couldn't
watched
get
it because he
past
was
a few
excited
episodes.
about it for me.
hmm
Right.
And I had reservations, and I watched those 3. I think I got 3 episodes, and was just like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I know I just gave my
Or
worst
Halo.
movies In the Road and Morbius. What's your worst movie of the year, Nick? Did I think I'm not sure. I think
Well, one of them, I mean, I don't know if it's
Morbius as
it's
well.
not the absolute worst, but it was the most notable for me, and it's more personal. But Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is one of the worst movies this year for me, and it is because
it's
oh,
because
because
I was gonna ask something, but it's because
because it murdered my interest in Marvel.
Damn.
I can
That's-
agree with that. No,
That's it.
Nick and I had
Yeah.
a full discussion on air, I believe, that Doctor Strange was literally like the linchpin to how much we were still going to be interested in what else came from them this year.
Mhm.
Especially the fall part, because I'm glad I forgot about Doctor Strange and where the fall was. We
would've
called
thought-
it and we were mad that we were right.
I would have
Doctor
thought Love and
Strange-
Thunder would have did that for you guys. To be
We
fair,
didn't
We didn't
Love and
watch.
Thunder.
We didn't watch Love
We
and
didn't watch
Thunder
Love and
because of Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
right?
We were-
that's
we
right,
were
'cause Doctor
so
Strange came out
eager.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange was literally the 3-hour season finale to WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
how they lost us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's that simple.
That's pretty damn accurate.
It's
Pretty
like
much.
once you wrap your head around that, you're mad. You're just mad.
Yeah.
Because I sat at
Yeah.
home and watched the first 8 hours. Now I had really? No.
Mm-mm. Yeah, and then introducing these cool characters just to kill them off, and the idea that you're going to have somebody like Sam Raimi, but then try to keep him on the Disney wheels, which was stupid of you.
Shang-Chi was better.
Oh no, come on, man! I can't.
Okay,
say
I'm
that,
sorry. Was
but-
that rude? That was too deep of a cut?
I can't go that far.
That's too deep of a cut? All right, sorry. I'll get my smaller sword out.
But it was bad enough. It was definitely bad enough, and bad enough for me to sort of lose the interest of Marvel, and that had been building up. We've been talking about that.
Yeah,
for
we
quite some time.
still bring it up from time to time, even now though, because Marvel has really just
Listen,
poo-pooed the whole thing. The beautiful thing they built,
Yeah.
they
Right.
just took a giant dump on it.
well, if all of the movie houses are in a running theater at all times, Marvel is always playing. Nick is totally done. I know he would never go near the Marvel door. I might still poke my head in, stand in the hallway right at the door entrance and see what's going on. But I think Nick won't go down that particular hallway any longer.
No, I won't. I mean, and everybody else has their own taste. I know everybody has their own thresholds, but for me, that was it. Corey says, it's like, oh, look, my parents, and then poof, they're gone, and we're supposed to be empathetic to the loss and America's fear of using her powers, but it didn't work at all. Yeah, no, it didn't. It definitely didn't. She got scared of a bee. She got scared of a bee, and then blew her parents into a different dimension.
At least they might not be dead though.
Let's see. Derpy says, I agree with that.
I know
As a
that.
DC fan, when I saw it, I thought to myself, this is legit the same movie that DC has put out in the last decade.
Yes.
And anyone that enjoyed it is 100% a Marvel fanboy.
Yes.
Or girl. Yeah,
Yep.
Mhm.
definitely. Yeah.
I'm on the same page as you with that, Keelan. I'll probably still take a look at it, but I'm not gonna pay for any of that.
Yeah, I think it's
I'm gonna be honest about it. I'll see some of it, but I'm not spending money on it.
He's like, give me your login.
See, Dirkie brings this up. I enjoyed WandaVision, though. He says, "You know, it's
there
funny.
Were some enjoyable
we
parts
did
of
too.
Yeah,
but the problem is that the implications of WandaVision destroy almost everything, and that was the problem. Because when we reviewed WandaVision, we liked it. Then we thought about WandaVision, and we were like, oh."
You thought about
shit.
where WandaVision left you, and it was only one direction for them to go, and we called exactly what they were about to do, and that's just trash. That's just shit. And you and think about how long it took them to make the Multiverse of Madness movie, and where the fuck is Kang?
Oh,
Isn't he supposed to be the whole multiverse?
Well, right now he's in the micro, ultra, mini, tiny baby verse, conquering dust particles.
Quantum Mania.
Yeah, he's doing that with the Ant-Man and the Wasp, apparently.
Cool, fun.
Fighting dust particles or whatever.
Another movie I won't see.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I probably will see it.
I think I'll watch Quantumania. Ant-Man it's a fun.
I don't like the Ant-Man series all that much, though. To be honest,
I don't know if I like it, but it is fun. It keeps me entertained. That part I can absolutely.
Yeah, because it does have entertaining qualities because it has a little bit of comedy in it, but that's about it.
And the stakes are a little bit lower. They're not as lore breaking. True. You know, but then I think Quantum Mania might have some lore breaking stuff.
Not a fan enough of it to even know if it's breaking lore.
That's interesting. Oh, wrong word. That's fair.
Right.
I also want to say the reason I had to say, and I will say again, it's Paul Rudd. Is I watched a lot of like Paul Rudd movies way back, like when they were like B-roll damn near. So to see Paul Rudd in something like this, it's like
shout out to him. He's funny.
Basically. It's like it's just a lot of people you see, and it's like, oh, I know that person from here, and they end up. It's kind of like Jason Momoa being Aquaman. It's like I'm not really into the DC stuff, but Jason Momoa, like I'll support it because of him.
You know? Mordo who?
Yeah, that's what the movie said. Mordo was like,
who?
They're like,
yeah. Mordo just kind of got put to the side.
Yeah. He got Terrence Howard.
Oh, come on, man.
Did. Next time, baby.
No, man, don't do my man Mordo like that, man. Mordo didn't deserve that, man. He got you there, Doctor Strange, man.
Doctor Strange, man.
Doctor Strange.
Don't do me like that, Doctor Strange, man.
Daddy Galactus in the end credit. Hey, you know what? Yeah, Galactus could have actually saved that entire movie.
I mean, they feel like they're trying to loom that, but I don't know. I haven't seen.
Yeah, I mean, no, and that's what he's getting at. But in reality, had you give us the last 30 minutes of the Galactus bit, right? Just kind of throwing it at. That's where we're headed, and make us really buy that, and not even show it to us. Damn it, I'm sorry.
We already got that in Fantastic Four.
Boom. Damn, you're right.
You mean Fantastic?
Fantastic.
Yeah, that whatever that was, we got that already, so that's why they didn't want to go back to that.
They did kind of kerfuffle the name a bit, didn't they?
Yeah, it was like Fan Four Stick back in, but it was like Fantastic, but the 4 was in between the fan and.
I don't think I had really caught that until you just said it out loud, and I'm like, wait, that is how they. That's how it looked. I said something a little earlier about things they got to change and do because contract purposes.
Maybe.
When you don't have the rights to something, it's hard to pull it off.
Exactly.
And I get that. That's why when Spider-Man made it to the Avengers movies, that was a big deal
for everybody, and it actually helped the Avenger movies. Hey, Mike, you mentioned your worst movie, correct?
No.
What is it? Movie of the year?
Jeepers Creepers, the remake.
Jeepers Creepers, the remake.
I actually know a few people who said that's in their best movies of the year.
They didn't watch it. Because the story is terrible. The acting's it's okay. It's nobody's winning an award for anything in this movie. For not even the music, not the lighting, not the cinematography, nothing. Not the makeup. Nobody's winning an award for this movie. I rate this movie like a 3. You guys would probably rate it a 1. I'm almost certain.
Likely. I probably. Yeah. Fair Corey enough. Says the first one was fun. The first one was fun.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, they screwed up the remake though.
I enjoyed the second one, even though you have to kind of. I mean, you really got to stretch the imagination for most horror movies in general. Yeah. The second one was decent. The third one was trash. This remake is. Look, it's like Children of the Corn 5. If you've seen it, you know.
Children of the Corn 5. Good Lord.
There's a Children of the Corn like 7.
Yeah. I'm sure there is.
5 is just the cutoff on how trash it got.
We all know to stop that 1 and 2.
Man, you know what? They shouldn't have even made a sequel.
Of which one? Children of the Corn?
Yeah.
Children of the Corn 2 was pretty freaking good.
Yeah, okay.
Scary.
All right.
I was a little kid, dude.
Right. No, I get that. That's why I'm going to say, okay.
3 for me?
Yeah.
Now, as an adult, I probably wouldn't care for them. But as the memory of 1 through 3 for me, I think I pissed myself watching 2.
I just rewatched the first one and realized how bad it really was, but I still liked it.
Listen,
right.
Is that the movie with the scary looking white kids?
Yeah. The Children of the Corn. They all walked out the cornfield with glowing eyes.
Yeah. Not The Village. That's a different one.
Yeah.
Right. That
was better though, to be fair.
No, but it's like the super blonde hair, super pasty.
Yeah.
No.
Kids, right?
No. That's The Village. I mean, not The Village. I'm sorry.
Children of the Corn has the thing.
No, because what he's describing is the one with Christopher Reeves in it.
Oh yeah, what am I?
Where
thinking?
the kids had the white hair and they had the abilities and powers and stuff, and they were terrorizing the parents.
Yeah,
that's
what I thought you were describing. I can't think of the name of it.
Different movies, 2 different movies. Mike is right, and I know the difference. But they have powers and abilities in Children of the Corn too.
Yeah.
That was demonic stuff.
That's fair too.
In the one he's describing, they had alien abilities. Because all the women just woke up pregnant.
Right. Yeah. Right. Children of the Damned.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think isn't that in the series of Children of the Corn? Children of the Damned?
No.
Oh wow.
No.
I thought they were
just creepy kids. Okay.
Look,
says
the late 80s.
The original Twilight Zone concept was creepy AF. I don't really even remember if I watched any of the movies. I love the Twilight Zone, man.
Twilight Zone is good.
I used to watch the marathons with my grandmother for
I still watch those from time to time.
Did they show them last night? They usually show them for New Year's Eve.
Do have a marathon on New Year's Eve. You're right.
I think they have a whole television channel dedicated to them now.
I love the Twilight Zone. So creepy.
Oh, the Twilight Channel?
Yeah,
they should.
Like, there's a few channels that are dedicated to specific old TV shows and movies. Like, I know on, I think it's on Pluto TV. They have a whole Beverly Hillbillies channel.
Ooh.
That's all they play.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw Highway to Heaven the other day. I don't know if you guys even know what that is. Michael Landon. Highway to Heaven. About a guy who's an angel and he hitchhikes across America helping people.
I feel like I've heard of that. I think so. I feel like somebody was telling me about that.
It's like 1984.
And I was like, hell no, that show didn't exist, but I guess it did.
Yeah. That Michael Landon was the actor who starred in that. He died in the 80s when I was a kid, and that's why the show ended.
Nobody to lead it on.
Okay, so it says, coming from a more Star Wars fan than a fan of the 2 specific iconic animes, hear me out. I'd rather torture myself The Last Airbender and Dragon Ball Evolution than rewatch the sequels again or die. Well, dude, I don't blame you because the sequels to Star Wars are awful. They're awful movies. It's an awful trilogy that needs to be thrown in the gutter and somebody needs to redo something. Totally
what
different.
They need to do for the sequels to Star Wars is just get Brad Pitt out there so he can kill some space Nazis.
There you go. Sound good? Okay.
Also, he's in the Nazi killing business, and his business is booming.
And I'm so pissed that M. Night Shyamalan got his hands on The Last Airbender. That was so dumb.
Wait, is he talking about the Last Airbender movie? I just thought about that.
Yeah,
the movie,
the live action.
not the
Oh my god!
Mm-mm.
Never mind. I thought we were talking about the cartoons. I have
Nah, the
nothing
cartoon
to
is
say.
beloved by everyone.
The cartoon's amazing. Yeah.
I have nothing to say. I bid you a good day, Derpy.
But Derpy coming
Good
up.
afternoon,
I
sir.
heard
Good
that.
afternoon.
I don't know for sure. It could still be on the slate. It could still be upcoming, but I think Netflix is doing a live action of.
Yeah,
The Last
I heard about
Airbender.
something like that.
I thought they did it already.
No, they're doing like a TV
Dragon
show.
Ball one already.
Dragon Ball Evolution was only bad because it exists.
Don't exist. You won't be bad.
You know what? No, it's not certain.
That's
I
fair.
can't think of any anime that I've gotten live actions that were good. Full
Oh,
Metal
they've done a lot of live action anime.
that were good.
Oh no, I didn't say that.
That's what I said. That were
Yeah,
good.
okay. I'm sorry, I misheard you because I just realized that they have 3 full live action anime
Street Fighter?
adaptations to Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
3 of them.
and I'm sure they're all trash. One just came out like last week.
Right. There's, like I said, there's 3 of them. I didn't realize. I think they're doing I forget. I know there's another one coming out, and I know Death Note was completely awful. Completely awful. I didn't even like the anime, and then when they did the live action, I thought that was even worse.
I don't like Heath is a good actor, but I don't know if he was the best Kira.
Oh, okay. Derpy's on the Last Airbender for Netflix. Apparently, they have a lot of info. They've been on it since 2018. Yeah, it's been in talks for quite some time. I'm kind of interested in seeing where it goes because they brought I believe, unless they got rid of them, they might have gotten rid of them, but I think they initially started this with the original creators. I hope they still have the original creators, but I'm not sure. So hopefully we'll actually see some decent live action Last Airbender.
I do not have any hopes for it, to be fair, but
it could be amazing. It could be amazing if you do it right. Yeah, it could be very good. Speaking of very good, should we get to our best?
I was just gonna say, I think we're now at the good. We've done worst movies. All of our honorable mention, worst TV is where we started. Now it's best TV and best movies of the year.
Yeah, for best TV, I think we've talked about some of the good stuff already. We talked a little bit about Stranger Things and stuff. But I wanted to bring up, I also brought up Peaky Blinders season 6, which I thought was very good. But the last one I wanted to bring up was Cobra Kai season 5. Cobra Kai
episode.
Go watch it. Go fucking watch Cobra Kai, man. You'll love it.
I've watched some, but I haven't watched enough to really jump in on that. But
yeah,
all stuff I've seen is pretty good.
It's a consistent show. It's lighthearted. It's got, good heart to it. It's got good, wholesome ideas. It makes fun of woke stuff. It's a good show. And it's funny, and there's a lot of violence, and yeah, it's fun. And season 5 was great. Huh?
It reminds me of a 90s show.
It does. It's definitely like a 90s show for sure. Season 5 is just as strong as all the other seasons. I think it's really good. It's a lot of fun, and it kind of astonishes me that they managed to get this far and still have it be decent. So Cobra Kai season 5, solid for 2022.
You heard how he said it, guys. Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai, never die.
So okay, yeah, that's actually some really good TV. Hey Mike, before I'm because again I have a few TVs. I think we all have more than one TV, and then we'll get to the movies. What's some good? I don't know. What's some?
You got more than one TV.
I always have more than one TV. What's some good TV from you, Mike? What do you say?
Like I said, I haven't really been watching a whole lot of TV shows because I've been, besides the stuff that we have reviewed, like Hot D and the Rings of Power. I haven't really watched a whole lot of TV. I've been mostly watching anime, and I fell into an anime hole for a long time. I'm big on the Boruto. If anybody cares, that's the sequel to Naruto. A lot of anime has come and gone because a lot of it they only did one season that was really good. I liked it. Like being reincarnated as a spider. I enjoyed that. And they did poo-poo it. They put out this anime, they gave us a bunch of episodes, and then it just went nowhere. And Reincarnated as a Slime was a really good one that I think they ended it this in 22 was the last season. I don't think they're not gonna bring another one back. And I thought that was a really good one. So I mean, I haven't really watched a whole lot of just TV shows. I haven't watched like a whole lot of Netflix series. I was watching like Lock and Key on Netflix, but when they did that in the last 2 seasons, I was just like, I'm good, because they just make everything woke, and I'm just tired of that. I'm tired of watching woke shows.
Yeah, I get you.
I am interested in Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. I'm not sure what it was you
haven't gotten to it, but I had put that on my list.
Yeah, I agree. I would check that out. I haven't. It keeps popping up on my Netflix, and I just haven't checked it out. Corey says here, they just need to let go with the nostalgia bait and reimagining for a modern audience, and do straight reboots or live actions, or just make something new already. Make something new is fine with me.
I would rather new stuff.
There's a lot of creativity in telling people how to feel towards their art, but no creativity in the actual art. Ain't that something?
Derpy's responding to about The Last Airbender. Apparently, they did lose the creators early in the development because of some changes to the show and maybe expanding. They finished in October, and we're going to get a trailer soon. But the budget and technology is good this time around 120 or 10 million per episode, 10 episodes.
Which show are we talking about again?
Last Airbender for Netflix.
Okay, also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's a live action show.
Yes, it's going to be a live action show.
That's different. That's like Cowboy Bebop.
I enjoyed that.
It wasn't bad, but it didn't get the viewership that Netflix wanted it to, so they pulled it.
Well, that's because they attacked the fans.
Yes, yeah.
They attacked the fans. I only watched it because of the controversy. I didn't even watch the anime. I've never watched the anime.
Really?
Right. But I watched the Netflix show, and I enjoyed it. It made me want to go back and watch the anime.
I think that's the problem, though. This is the anime was so ferociously loved. Like, people who love Cowboy Bebop don't want you messing with it. They don't want you to touch it.
Fair.
They didn't want the live action. They weren't asking for it, Fair. And like, so if you're going to make something for an audience that doesn't want it, then yeah, you're going to have some issues. Right. That's for sure.
Right.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Best TV from me. Again, for me, a lot of TV, man. I can keep going with honorable mention TVs that aren't necessarily my top, but just things that I saw that were like, yo, you should watch this. I think this is in my top. I'm going to say this is we're going to run. This isn't my top 3, but these are some of my tops. And then one of them is my number 1. The show Little Demon on Hulu. Danny DeVito, Lucy DeVito. That show is good. Like, at first I was like, I'm just going to watch it in passing. It's about demons and stuff. And I'm trying to get too deep into that. And then I was stuck. And I was like, the show's funny. It's entertaining. It's upbeat. It's relevant. But simultaneously, it's about a 13-year-old battling to become that, or not to become, but trying to like fight this need where her father, who happens to be Satan, needs her to be the Antichrist. And her mom is like a Wiccan witch trying to fend off Satan, who's her ex-lover. It's like, what? It's pretty crazy. I didn't expect to get reeled into that. Got reeled into that pretty deep, and really enjoyed that show. Ted Lasso on Apple TV. Man, every single show pulls you emotionally in every single direction. You're gonna laugh. You might even tear up a little bit. You might be concerned for somebody. You're gonna feel a little bit of understanding inside, like some empathy. It's the craziest show that's not really like crazy. It's a really controlled show, but it's a really good show. Haven't seen an episode I don't like, and I am almost to the end of season 2. I've been watching it for a while, but I've been watching it very slowly. But I only started watching this in 2022, so not a 2022 show, but um, something that helped me through 2022. Just a really good show to watch periodically. And my number one TV show is I've mentioned this on the show a few times, but we haven't covered it. And hey, if you guys want to catch up, it's that good. Well, hell, we could make a party and I'll watch every episode again with y'all. Abbott Elementary. I love this show, yo.
Oh, that's a new one, isn't it?
Yeah, what is it on, like season 2?
I saw the previews for that.
Yeah, I think it's on season 2. But Abbott Elementary is hands down one of the best shows on TV. And it's really just it's like Quinta Brunson, and it's really kind of like Office style, but in under the realm of teachers. So I like The Office, I like 30 Rock, and all of those shows. So I kind of Parks and Recs. So for me, it didn't surprise me that I like this show, but it definitely, I think it's going to be around for a while. Oh yeah, Bluepy. Derpy, sorry about that. Derpy says that Blue Exorcist is the weirdest and fucked up anime I've ever watched. It is definitely one of the weirdest shows. I remember you told me you didn't like it too. It is definitely one of the weirdest animes I've seen, but I enjoyed it. Fucked up too. Real fucked up, but I did enjoy it. Yeah, Little Demon is not as messed up as Blue Exorcist by any means. It doesn't hit any of those kind of things. It's not like anime, it's not about fighting. It's not even really about the whole demonic side. It's more about this struggle that this little girl has in becoming, she's destined to become the Antichrist if she chooses to do that. And then she ends up meeting angels. And I think that's where it gets funny, is you start to find out, like, you remember that Lucifer is a fallen angel. So he would have a relationship with the angels because those are his brothers. You get all of that. And a lot of those kind of things where it's like, okay, wait, kind of back to what Mike was saying, where it's like, are you trying to get me to root for the devil in this one? Like, I don't know where you're going with that.
Right.
A lot of times you actually do know where they're going. But in Little Demon, I'm not sure if you're really supposed to be rooting for them or just kind of watching it play out. And that's one of the things I do enjoy about that show. But those are the 3 mentions. And again, the top for me is for sure Abbott Elementary. Little Demon is so interesting that I had to mention it. There's a few more, but I'm not going to mention them. Ted Lasso, can't peel my eyes away from it. But if you turn Abbott Elementary on, I'm going to stop everything I'm doing.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, movie. I think we already talked about it.
Hey, listen, everybody. You better know what the best movie is of the year. It's the only movie we gave a 10, all right? It's literally the best movie of the year. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. If you don't know it, you know it now.
You got it right.
It's your favorite movie now. That's right. Hey, Corey, Derpy, your favorite movie now. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Trust me, you will agree.
Better than Doctor Strange.
Oh my God!
Much better.
Don't do that. Don't even put Doctor Strange. It's the best multiverse movie. I'll say that. Yeah.
That's why I mentioned it.
Yep, it's the best multiverse movie out there. I do have another mention though, and this is a 2022 movie, something we recently covered within the last month, I believe.
Bullet Train.
No. Bullet Train.
Another good movie.
Yeah, Bullet Train was good, but it wasn't this good. Godfather, the Hindi. Godfather.
Oh yeah, Godfather Hindi. That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a fun one.
Yeah.
That was so good. That's like, all right, I got to throw that up there as a, like
no
a 1B,
shade.
like a 1B. One more time.
No shade.
No shade. Oh yeah, no shade at all. No shade at all. We're not saying that it's better in any way, but I think if we were to put that up there with the American Godfather, they're on par. In my opinion, they're all equally as good. And actually, this Godfather, the Hindi Godfather, or Godfather Hindi, is probably better than Godfather 3 and so on, but it's right on par with 1 and 2.
I'm not gonna do that.
No.
Yeah, that might be a big step, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go that far. I feel you, but I'm not gonna go that
it's
far.
In there. Okay, can we just say it would be like Godfather 4? Wait, I don't remember how many Godfather. I think there's only 3, right?
There's only 3.
Yeah. Okay, so I won't break up the trilogy. Fine, I won't do that. We know how trilogies go. I'll just say if you like that, if you like the American version, you'll enjoy also this version.
All
And
I'm
it's not
saying
quite
is,
the same story. Let's be clear about
every
that.
time I get out, they keep pulling me back in.
Hey, you can say that if you want to. I missed a couple of Derpy's points that he wanted me to.
Oh, yeah.
In addition to the Airbender stuff, I totally sorry I missed that. But apparently they're using the same technology as the Mandalorian, so they're using that damn volume thing. And the stages show that this panel screens also the technology Avatar Adapt that broke the world record with the panels. Yeah, the panel. And then he says, from what I heard, it's someone said it's similar to the Sandman, but also they were kind of going for a Game of Thrones, but like adult like tone. I hope they don't do that to The Last Airbender.
Well, Sandman had some really good visual graphics.
Oh, I did watch that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
Some of those visual graphics. Yeah, I thought Sandman was good, just not worth mentioning, honestly. If they're able to use the Sandman visual graphics because it is Netflix and utilize that, especially for all the air bending and water bending and stuff, that actually could be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm good with seeing the representation.
Consistent, because I do think in Sandman a lot of the effects weren't necessarily like done like in combat style, and in Avatar a lot of it will be used combat style.
Yeah. Okay. What are we looking forward to, guys? Anything?
Hey.
John Wick 4.
What?
Looking forward to John Wick 4.
Doing that again?
Oh man, John Wick is still dope, man. They ain't fucked that up yet.
Yeah. You see the anticipation there?
Hey man, it is what it is. I understand where you're coming from. I'm just saying. I'm looking forward to it. I like the series.
Shawshank, I'd be like, for why? It was fine where you left it.
Corey says One Punch Man season 3.
Excited for that?
That's man, I'm ready. I've been ready.
Man.
Yeah, you said the magic word, Corey.
Yeah, wait, thank you for bringing that up, Corey, because here's the thing. I'm not excited to know what happens to One Punch Man. No. I need to know what happens to the beast.
Gaara?
Gaara, thank you.
No. Wait.
That's why I'm watching season 3.
Okay. I feel that. I ain't mad at that one bit.
I need to see what his final transformation is going to be. Dude's turning into a beast. And I think somehow him and One Punch Man are going to have to team up, and that's just going to be even crazier and funnier. But somehow One Punch Man is going to kick his ass first.
Well, there's a whole manga that's way ahead.
Yes, but I also know the same thing for like 7 Deadly Sins and stuff, and I try my best not to go too far ahead when I'm catching up.
I'm currently still enjoying the new release of Bleach. I don't know if you guys were ever into that anime, but they started picking back up with that story. And so far, it looks like it's pretty canon to the manga and not all that filler crap.
Nice. Maybe I needed to give it time for them to digest and translate the original.
Well, I mean, it's been gone for 10 years or so.
It's been gone for a while, yeah.
Yeah.
It has been a minute.
I'm looking forward to Nolan's movie about Robert Oppenheimer, which I think will be good. The guy who helped create the nuclear bomb.
That's the trailer.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
I think that could be a fun movie.
Yeah. There are a couple of movies and things that I'm interested in for 2023. I've gotten to a point, especially with doing this, learning that there's a lot of trailers we're going to see and be amazed at, and then we're never going to see the fucking movie. So I try not to get myself too excited about that. But as far as like streaming platforms, I have one thing right now that I am ultra excited for. And it just came out today. New season starts today, which means I'll probably be done with it by like Wednesday, unfortunately, because it's that damn good to me. It's called The Way of the House Husband on Netflix.
Oh man. I watched a couple episodes already.
It's just a good damn show.
I love the first season of that.
Yes.
The second season is equally ridiculous so far. I've watched like an episode and a half, and I'm like, all right, I hope they do better than this.
Ah, damn. Okay. Well, the live action adaptation is also good.
I haven't seen that.
There's a and it's not like a exact play out. Like it's different stories.
Okay, that could be good. That could
But yeah,
definitely be good.
that's probably my most excited thing for 2023. There's like I said, movies and all of that. Yeah, there's some exciting stuff coming up, but
I haven't really looked into what's coming up to 2023. To be fair, as far as movies, you know, I'm big on the horror movies, so I'm gonna take a look at that and see what kind of horror movies are coming out in 23. Because I know you guys are into the smartsy fartsy stuff. I like
smartsy fartsy. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it when they try to scare me.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, I
Derpy's
didn't even know
his. Yeah.
what Derby talking about because I just saw that they're making a Star Fox movie.
Oh, all
Across
right.
the Spider-Verse. I forgot about Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be dope. I hope.
Across the Spider-Verse.
I forgot about Doom 2 coming.
I am less excited about that.
M7, Mission Impossible 7.
Yes,
I
Mission
don't care
Impossible
about that.
7. I heard it's like pretty darn good.
Something about that. I didn't even. I forgot about that. I can't say I'm excited for that yet because I don't know enough. I know it might be coming, but I don't know enough to be excited like that. And Oppenheimer, yeah, we're all excited for that.
Oppenheimer for sure. Nolan's a great movie creator, so that should be an interesting movie.
Didn't he do Tenet?
He did do Tenet, yes.
And I thought that was a great movie. I don't think a lot of people liked it, but I really did. I like that one.
I don't know about great, Mike, but it wasn't
yeah, we shat on a little bit.
I liked it. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Derpy's got one of mine. The Super Mario. Super Mario. I am actually pretty excited to see that movie. They're making a cartoon version, and the trailer is very good. It looks funny. I could be excited to see that for sure. And he says,
I'm going to be excited for that because we know I liked the 80s version that was garbage, the live action. I love it.
Right. Yeah. Guardians. What about Guardians 3? You guys excited for Guardians 3?
Remember I was saying I'm actually excited for that.
Deadpool 3.
All the Guardians movies are good.
Oh yeah, Deadpool is supposed to come out. Maybe we'll see.
Forgot about that. And that's what I'm saying. There's so many things like. See, Deadpool. Forgot about that. Oh, Barbie. Yes.
Barbie. Oh yeah, that's right. Ryan Gosling is supposed to be Ken, right?
I was actually surprised when I saw the trailer for Barbie at how excited I was for the trailer of the Barbie movie.
I haven't seen the trailer yet, so I'll have to check it out.
No, I really was like, oh, hey, yo, this is a Barbie movie. And I was like, wait, why am I excited for a Barbie movie? But it's that was for the girls of our generation, but it's still something we witnessed through our generation. So to see the story play out could be kind of interesting, could be entertaining. It's like the Pam and Tommy movie when it came on, or a show when it came on Hulu. It's like,
right.
You really don't need this, but I'm gonna put that on my list so I can watch that later.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, so there's a lot to look forward to in 2023, guys. I think that we have a bright, shiny future ahead of us for Screen Time Continuum and for our movie reviews. So
absolutely,
it's gonna be pretty good.
Oh, you know what? Sorry.
Oh no, I just a quick validation on the Barbie movie. It's supposed to be about the rise of Barbie and how it became like the whole kind of like the McDonald's movie, right? Like how you see how Barbie became so popular, and that's the part that had me like, yo, that's just dope. They did Odyssey.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, they did a Space Odyssey 2001 recreation as the teaser, but with Margot Robbie.
Okay, yeah,
I don't know.
I can see that. Yeah, there might be more than one trailer out there. Yeah, I could definitely see where I would find that interesting. Then I didn't know it was going to be Margot Robbie. That also interests me too because she's a very good actress. So
yeah,
she reminds me of. I always forget her name when I'm thinking of her, but it was an actress back in like the early 2000s. And Margot Robbie reminds me a lot of her. I can't remember her name right now. That's crazy because I just had it on the tip.
Corey says, I'm interested to see if the D&D movie will be as bad as Warcraft or actually good. Just curiously, mostly.
But I like the Warcraft movie.
I didn't know they're making a Dungeons and Dragons movie.
I didn't either.
Interesting. That could be
I didn't know it.
interesting.
That sounds
Depends
like
on.
Stranger Things.
Yeah, it is a little bit. It's a little bit Stranger Things esque, but a D&D movie could be interesting enough. I like high fantasy stuff. They just have to do it right.
Mhm.
So I'm always down for somebody who can do high fantasy in a good way. So
Yeah, for sure.
The person who Margot Robbie looks like is Jamie King. She was an actress from like back in like the early 2000s, I believe.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, are we doing a reaction to the Last of Us HBO series? I mean, we can, and we
can.
probably will now that you
I've never
mentioned it.
played the game, so I can't. The game looked amazing, but because I don't have a PlayStation, I never got to play that one. But from what I understand, that should be a dope one.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I
heard
know there's so many people love the first game. I don't know about the second
Right.
game, but
Right.
yeah.
I'm like I say, I heard that it should be pretty good, but I mean that's from fans who are expecting it.
It looks
They
like
got
they
one
got a
thing
whole.
right.
What's that?
What do they got a whole?
I was gonna say they got a whole slew of new horror movies coming out in 2023.
No, they have a
Always.
whole
They've
slew of
always
new
got-
horror trailers for you to watch right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The
'Cause
Last of Us will be interesting for sure.
Yeah. I think The Last of Us is probably one of the more anticipated movies of the next, or is it gonna be a movie or show?
It's gonna be a show on HBO.
It's gonna be a show, yeah. But I think it's one of the more anticipated things in general, because of the hype behind it. It's like if they were to come out with a Fortnite animated cartoon or something,
Oh my god.
Right.
it would sell so fast.
It would.
Because put
yeah.
it this way, you know those little black shiny trash cans with the little metal push in part where you drop your trash through?
No.
I literally was that's funny. I was out I think we were at like an aquarium or something, and there were like little kids running around talking about Among Us, not Among Us, no, not
Yeah, Among Us.
but they were saying, yeah, exactly. They were saying Among Us, Among Us. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, so that's what happens to these generations when they get tied into something. So, like, all of the kids that are into The Last of Us, or even the adults that are into The Last of Us, like, yeah, they're gonna latch onto that like freaking ants on sugar.
hmm Yeah, I'll have to bone up on the story of the game again before we look at the actual TV show. But yeah, I'd be interested in checking that out for sure. All right, guys. Do we have anything else that we wanted to bring up?
Mhm.
Well, we know, like, again, we know what my favorite movie. Well, all our favorite movies are. My backup favorite movie. Yeah, I think everybody else gave their backup favorite movie too.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. I think we wrapped up 2022 in a nutshell.
I believe so.
And actually had a good time talking about it too.
Right, our
Right.
version of the 14,000 movies that came out.
Yeah.
Right.
Crazy.
Oh yeah, Derpy Gaming says, all I'm saying, if they keep it similar to the game, meaning The Last of Us, you're going to be an emotional wreck. And if you're not already, if you haven't played the game, then yeah. I've heard that
not
the
ready.
game is, you're not ready for that. The story in the first one I hear is very, very good. So
Damn,
Well,
Yeah.
Derby, you called it, so
if you
I'm
haven't
prepared.
played it. I'm going
Mhm.
to download the game right now, especially if it's free still, because it's old
It's
enough.
PlayStation only, so I can't get
Oh,
it.
really? All right, all my PlayStation friends out there, just know that
It's
when I
also
have free
on
time
Derpy saying it's
from
coming to
PC.
On
PC in
stream.
March. Yeah, on Steam in March. So you'll be able to check it out probably before the actual show comes up, you know.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Sounds good.
You are not prepared, my friend.
You are not. Hey, I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Heads up.
Right.
But
Yeah, it's
you
going to get
see,
heavy.
as you see, I'm the only person on this channel who sheds a half a tear into the bridge of my nose when things get tough. So
That's right.
yeah, I appreciate that.
He hasn't learned to reabsorb the tears yet. And we've come full circle, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. I think we're done, guys. We good? You good?
Yeah,
Yep.
I think
All right.
that's all. We know what the favorites are. We know what the best is.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we gave a bunch of recommendations.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I must say a very special thank you to Derpy501st, aka Derpy Gaming, and Corey Castle. Corey, thank you so much. And we saw Ayla here for a minute too. Thank you, Ayla. We really, really appreciate all of you guys. And we really appreciate you guys talking with us tonight. And it was really fun to have a chat with you guys and listen to what you guys really liked. And we hope that we get to talk with you guys more. Let me wrap up a couple more here. Let's see. Also, we lost Mike. Oh, there's Mike. Okay.
Well, I'm here.
Okay, you're there. He's got the cast of Avatar. You'll have to let us know about that. There, Derpy.
Yep.
Corey says Chuck Norris's tears that would cure cancer if they ever fell. Yes, that's true. That's why he keeps them inside. and Derpy, yeah, you can let us know about that cast because we'd be interested for sure. Thank you guys again for chatting with us. We are such a small channel, and we just really appreciate you guys taking your time to hang out with us tonight. And for everybody else that's watching, we really appreciate you too. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. What was your favorite stuff of 2022? What was your least favorite? You can let us know in the comments. As you see, Derpy and Corey already got theirs in, and that's a part of the show. And just remember that when we're live, if you guys want to comment, you'll be a part of the show too. Because we're small and we appreciate our fans. So thank you guys so much. Not fans, but listeners. Friends. There we go. I like that. We appreciate our friends. So thank you guys again. Consider leaving us a thumbs up and a subscription. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube page, it would really help us out. We're trying to grow that channel. We're at 114, going strong. Really, really happy about that. We've been growing slowly but surely, the little engine that could. And it's all because of you guys out there. So thank you so much. We have a network of podcasts that we do. You can go check all of those at Facebook at Thinkering Talks, but we also have YouTube pages and Facebook pages and Spotify pages for all of the podcasts that we do every day of the week, basically. Tuesday nights with Keelan at If Numbers Could Talk. You can go check him out, 8 p.m. Tuesday nights, If Numbers Could Talk. Wednesdays and Sundays, you already know what it is. It's Screen Time Continuum at 8:30. Tuesdays and Thursdays, Strawberries and Coffee on Twitch. Go check out Dijon and his channel on YouTube as well at Strawberries and Coffee, Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can also go on Twitch and catch out Big Mike at King_of_Ilion over on Twitch. Go check his channel out. He's always streaming as well. King_of_Ilion. Friday nights is Exofathom at 8 p.m. You can go check that out. And Saturday mornings, This Married Moment with Keelan and Bobby. Go check them out as well. All of them have Facebook pages and YouTube pages and Spotify pages. So go just run out there and listen and come right back here on Sunday night and chat with us. We really appreciate all of you. Thank you guys again so much. Got one more here from Derpy here. I don't drink cactus juice. My friend, stay classy. Let's hope for a good year instead of World War III. Yes, absolutely. Man, yes, we hope that you guys all have a good year for sure.
For shizzle.
Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys.
Thank you guys. We really appreciate all of y'all. Have a good night. For Screen Time Continuum, I am Nick.
I am Keelan.
And I'm Mike.
Good night.
You know, we say we're a train and we are a yard of trains, but ain't no diesels here.
All diesels.